Hello, and welcome to Xbox Game Showcase Extended. I'm your host, Paris Lilly. You may also know me from Gamertag Radio and Kinda Funny. I'm excited to be here with you today. We just saw a recap of Sunday's Xbox Showcase, and wow, 30 games from some of the world's most talented developers, and 27 of those games are coming to you on Xbox Game Pass. We saw the first in-engine footage of Starfield and learned that, yes, Bethesda is bringing it to Xbox, PC, and day one on Game Pass exclusively. They also showed us Battlefield 2042, Sea of Thieves, A Pirate's Life, Stalker 2, Psychonauts 2, and how about Redfall? Like they said, this year, Xbox is all about the games. Today, Xbox Game Showcase Extended is our chance to hear from the developers behind the games that are redefining interactive entertainment. Developers like Double Fine, Playground Games, Supergiant, Rare, 343 Industries, and more. We also have a new accessory design program to share with you, and a couple of other cool surprises. That's enough talk. Let's jump right in. You can see it for yourselves. Forza Horizon 5 looks phenomenal. And here with us today, all the way from the UK, is Mike Brown from Playground Games. Mike, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, great to be here.
Now, Mike, Forza Horizon has taken driving fans to Colorado, France, Italy, Australia, and the UK. How did you decide on Mexico for Forza Horizon 5?
Yeah, so we knew right from the start that we wanted it to be the largest Horizon yet. But it's not far down the path from that you realize you don't want to go big if it's just going to be more of the same. So we also knew that it needed to be the most contrasting, most diverse open world we'd ever built. And then when you start to look at Mexico, it really is like the whole world in one country. It's got snowy peaks, tropical jungles, epic canyons, amazing beaches, beautiful architecture, incredible historic cities, but also modern cities as well. It really has everything. And then you add in the culture, the music, the artwork, the people, the history, and there really is no more exciting location for the Horizon Festival.
Now that we're in Mexico, what are some of the authentic elements that we can expect in the game?
Yeah, totally. So we've got the largest and most diverse world we've ever built. And as I mentioned just a moment ago, something that really excited us about Mexico is the culture. So we've worked with creatives from all across Mexico. We've had Mexican artists produce beautiful mural artwork that you'll find on the walls around the game. We've worked with Mexican music acts to produce original compositions for the game. We've worked with Mexican scriptwriters and actors so that all of those Mexican voices you hear in the game will sound really authentic. And perhaps not as obvious, but the other thing that is super authentic is all of our light data and skies. So we had a team out in Mexico with our 12K HDR sky capture rig. We captured more than 400 hours of sky data, and then we recreate that in game. So all of the light, the shadows, the color information, all of it is recreated in game based on real light data captured from Mexico. So everything you're seeing there just has that real authenticity, that feeling of reality.
Now, we got a peek at Event Lab. Now, what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so Event Lab is a really exciting new suite of tools that will allow people in the community to create whatever they can imagine, really. If we look at the video right now, all of this that we see has been built using that Event Lab tool set. The bowling pins that have been placed, so someone's gone along, they've placed those, and then they've created rules that touch on them as well. So as we see, every time they're hitting them, a rule has been set up such that it gives players points. And then also in that clip, you can see that everyone else in that multiplayer session is hitting bowling pins as well, and all of that is adding into a collective team score. The rules could have easily been set up so that it wasn't a team score, that it was competitive. All of that creative freedom is open to players. It's as a game designer, I think it's the feature that I'm most excited about in Forza Horizon 5.
And I would say as a gamer, it's a feature I'm definitely excited about because this really is going to open up some unique features between me and my friends. Now, with the power of the Xbox Series X and the S, what are some of the new technical features that we can expect?
So in Forza Vista, we're really able to turn up everything, ramp everything on, turn on ray tracing, and we have the cars looking more realistic than they ever have before, unparalleled detail. But that detail, it does apply to the rest of the world as well. During the Xbox E3 showcase the other day, I mentioned we'd modeled the detail on everything, right down to the individual needles on the cholla cactus. That was just the plants that happened to be closest to the camera at that point. That level of detail is applied to everything that you see. And thanks to the power of the Xbox Series consoles, it's not just things that are right in front of the camera as well. We've really been able to push out all of the LODs and the draw distance and everything so that everything in the scene is full of that detail. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we capture that light data from Mexico, so you get this realistic lighting, shadows, AO, all of it comes together to create a scene that just looks real.
Now, Mike, when can the world expect to play Forza Horizon 5?
Sure. So we're launching this holiday on the Xbox Series consoles, the Xbox One consoles. We're on PC, on both the Windows 10 Store and Steam. Of course, we're in Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate, and you can play us on your Android device with Xbox Cloud Gaming. And players who purchase the Premium Edition, or if they're a Game Pass subscriber and get the Premium Add-ons bundle, you'll get early access as well, so you'll be able to play a little bit earlier than everybody else.
Now, Mike, this is a huge moment for you and the team. What does this mean to you?
Yeah, well, for me personally, I mean, I've been working on the Forza franchise for a really, really long time, but this is my first game as creative director. So in this period over the last few days and week or so, as people are seeing it for the first time, for me, it's probably been one of the most exciting experiences of my life. It's been absolutely incredible.
Again, Mike, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Later in the show, we'll be hearing from the developers behind games like Age of Empires 4, Shredders, and Grounded. But first, the team at Ninja Theory has something to share with you. Here's Tamim, Chief Creative Ninja, to explain what they've been hard at work on for Hellblade 2.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our brand spanking new Ninja House in Cambridge. I wanted to give you an update on the work so far for Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. What we're doing right now is building a good chunky slice of the game before we then move into full production to build out the rest. Hellblade was very special for us, and we didn't want to do a straight sequel. We wanted to do something extra special, and so we're making our lives as difficult as possible in that pursuit. The game is set in Iceland, 9th century Iceland, so we've been sending our art and audio teams out there, doing photography, photogrammetry, and combining it with satellite data to recreate large swathes of the landscape. On the character front, we're building real costumes, scanning them in. We're collaborating with Epic Games to bring you next-generation digital characters. On the combat front, we want it to be extra real and brutal. And so Melina, our main actress, has been training for 2 years, and all of our animators have undergone combat training. And so what you're going to see here is not a trailer, it's not a gameplay reveal, but rather a montage of the kind of work we've been up to. Hope you like it.
Will you follow me on this journey? By sea, by land, and dreams, through the valleys of despair, over the mountains of rage, to the depth of fear in my mind. You might see me as weak, but I will show you what lies behind my eyes. With our swords, we will forge new stories to strike the gods that haunt us. We will embrace our suffering, soothe our scars of grief, and break their siege of our minds. They may see them as gods, but we will show them what lies behind our eyes.
Gá í á fjalli, undis njóta. Welcome, everybody. It's probably a good time to say hi. So Halo is appearing today. This is the extended showcase we learned about. It's coming
And
up.
that is Xbox Design
Oh my
Lab.
God, I'm a little bit
and here
tired
to
right
tell
now.
us more about Xbox Design
I'm out of
Lab
breath somehow.
is Naveen Kumar.
But yes,
Naveen, thank you so
Halo
much
is
for
coming
joining us.
sometime today. They're going to be talking
So,
about
what is Xbox Design?
multiplayer. But according to Sketch from 343, there is nothing new that's super relevant, I guess. Let me see if I can pull up the quote. How is everyone doing today, by the way? See, there's about 800 of y'all. Oh my gosh. Okay, the chat's going super fast for me. Yeah, so I thought I already missed it today, and then I realized as I was getting my coffee this morning, I was like, oh, wait a minute. It's going to start in 3 minutes. So I jumped up and ran and started streaming this thing. So if you're just tuning in, no, you haven't missed anything Halo related. Or if you've been wondering that, this did just start about 16 minutes ago or something like that. I'm good. Thanks for asking. Optimistic sunrise. Hell yeah. Well, so let me see if I can pull up that quote real quick. But in the meantime, I'm just going to keep letting this play.
The controller more eco-friendly. We also have new button options for the ABXY button set and the view menu share, including a really cool button option for ABXY that's a throwback to the original Xbox 360 controller. So you got to check that out. And yeah, this is just the beginning. We're excited to introduce more customization options over time.
Now, 2 of these controllers were inspired by games. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so there's a blue and green and purple one that's inspired by Psychonauts 2. We just love the key art for that one, so we work with our partners to develop a controller to help bring that to life. And there's also one that's inspired by Grounded and the aphid character from that game. We had a lot of fun in designing that as well, as the controller kind of looks like an aphid if you look at it from the right angles.
Now, I created my own controller. I'm going to pick it up now.
Okay.
I'm a huge Los Angeles Lakers fan. World champion Los Angeles Lakers, and my design was inspired by that. So I went with the yellow on the front, I went with the purple on the back. I designed the buttons kind of with the black accent along with the shoulders and the triggers. But I also did an inscription on it, and my inscription says, "Ka can't cook." And that is inspired by my good friend, Khalif Adams. He does a fantastic show called Spawn on Me, but he's a terrible cook. So I want to make sure that every time I pick up a controller to play on Xbox, I'm reminded how terrible of a cook he is and to avoid it at all costs. But enough of terrible cooking. Let's talk about something that you designed.
Yeah, I designed this controller right in front of me here. Again, on my favorite color, this electric volt. I just love the way that the midnight blue accents pop against it, the dark ABXY colors. And this one's inspired by a pair of sneakers I have at home, so I had to make a controller based off that.
That's awesome. Now, one last thing. When can fans expect to start designing their own Xbox controllers?
They can start today by visiting xbox.com/Xbox Design Lab. There's tons of inspirations to choose from. Customization is really fun, and we're shipping controllers to US, Canada, and most Western European countries. And these make great gifts, whether it's for yourself or that special gamer in your life.
That is fantastic. Naveen, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Paris.
Later in the show, World's Edge will give us a deeper look at Age of Empires 4. But first, Tim Schafer is giving us a closer look at Psychonauts 2.
I finally found it. Hopefully anyone watching isn't terribly interested in this stuff, and I'm going to assume a lot of y'all are coming in for Halo stuff. So yeah, so if you don't know, obviously, if you've been living under a rock, 343 Industries revealed Halo Infinite this week, and obviously they showed Master Chief and the new AI, like a Cortana model. Older, younger sister, doesn't really matter. And they revealed the multiplayer. So we do know we got the overview, and I broke that down over stream, and then even on YouTube, just a video by itself. But what today is all about is extending the details on what we're going to see in the game. So if you're interested in, for example, Psychonauts, this might not be the best stream for you because now I'm talking over it, but yeah, let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be seeing today. So take a look at this. Some people are saying there's going to be no news today, but this is what we actually officially got. Let me see if there's easy way I could just share it. Yeah. So, what you might see here is, hopefully everyone can see this. But anyway, any new info for tomorrow's stream, which is talking about the stream we're watching right now, and Brian, or Sketch at 343, community director, said no new reveals or big revelations. It's a conversation between Vicious696, which is host of GTR. Okay, so he's not related to... So basically it's an interview about Halo Infinite's multiplayer. So no big reveals or revelations, but it is a conversation chatting about multiplayer. So that is what we can expect today, guys. Might change the stream title too to... Yeah. And if I sound weird or extra nerdy today, it is because I am just... My allergies going wild because of spring and stuff, so I'm a little bit... Yeah. But anyway, let's take a look at the stream while I try to find more scoops. Oh, this is actually pretty cool. Let me share this real quick. So Mint Blitz asked, you can grapple hook with objectives in Halo Infinite. And Sketch also said this, hey, definitely don't read too much into this. Screenshots are from internal pre-release builds. Balance is always priority. That will determine if and where it is supported. Although, to be honest, I haven't even really considered that. Using the grapple hook because we know the grapple hook can grab onto weapons that have fallen from enemies. We know we can use the grapple hook to jump onto flying vehicles like Banshees and Wasp and even Warthogs and stuff like that. And yeah, so pretty cool stuff. Let me we'll just keep this going and keep waiting, I guess, for Halo to show up.
That have turned into bouncers inside the casino, and also a new enemy called Bad Idea. Bad Ideas spawn actual nasty-looking light bulbs over their head that become dangerously explosive and blow up in Raz's face. Now, headquarters. One of the things that happens in Psychonauts 2 that's most exciting to Raz is that he gets to visit the headquarters of the Psychonauts themselves, which is called the Mother Lobe. This is the center for all Psychonauts activity, and Raz gets to see his old friends Sasha and Mia, who were counselors at summer camp in the first game. He now gets to see where they work. He gets to see their offices, he gets to see their labs, he gets to see their co-workers, other agents in the field, but also he gets to see the admin and maintenance staff as they go about their business and hang out in the cafeteria, and sort of the everyday happenings of what appears to be normal in the Psychonauts world. There are a lot of little hidden pathways and treasures around the base that he can find, side quests and scavenger hunts and things that you might recognize from the first game. There's a lot of characters to meet, a lot of fun things to discover, a lot of secrets about the Psychonauts themselves, and the lore of the founding of the Psychonauts, including the Psychic Six, who were seen on stumps around the campfire in the first game, but now we get to go much deeper into the story of how they played a part in the founding of the Psychonauts, how they were brought together and recruited by Ford Cruller and turned into this amazing international espionage force. One of the things that was so important about the first game was exploring this natural environment around the summer camp, all the little hidden paths and caves where Raz's adventures took place. And so in the second game, we've expanded on that. There's an even bigger natural environment, multiple natural environments around the headquarters that you can explore. There's a quarry outside the Mother Lobe, which is where they dug out these massive deposits of titanium. Titanium, this psychoreactive mineral that amplifies and changes psychic powers. There's lots of secrets.
No, you haven't missed
quarry,
Halo.
Lots of abandoned mines.
Yeah, they are showing Halo. So if you're just joining us, I did just recap this, but they are going to be
attraction called the
basically getting interviewed
a sort of power vortex
by a journalist talking about Halo Infinite's multiplayer. So no big major reveals today, but that doesn't mean there's going to be a bunch of small
behave strangely. There's caves dedicated to the mystery of
how
the
long
Sasquatch,
until the Halo conversation?
The giant one-eyed being that
we don't know. So yeah, I would be feeling all this event really probably with commentary, but I just woke up, so I'm a little bit out of it right now. But yeah, so I'll just keep playing it.
And they'll be exploring that in Psychonauts 2, and you'll get to find out who put this curse on Raz's family to die in water. The Quados have been cursed by a mysterious character to all die in water, and this manifests itself in the form of the Hand of Galokio, which is this hand that comes out of the water, which is really just Raz's psychic construct. Raz is so afraid of water because of the curse put on his family that every time he comes near water, this creepy hand comes out and tries to grab him and pull him under, which is all happening inside of Raz's head. In Psychonauts 2, you'll get to find out who put this curse on Raz's family, where it came from, and what he can do about it. The story you uncover about the curse put on Raz's family links back into the story of the foundation of the Psychonauts.
I'm
and
ready to
Raz
go.
finds out that his family and the Psychonauts family are actually more intertwined than he believed. So there's a lot of mystery to discover for the player and Raz and his family and his friends as they explore the connections between his family and the Psychonauts and what it all has to do with.
Would y'all prefer me to talk over the stream or
she's a powerful psychic and
talk about Halo until we get Halo, or
she's been believed to be dead for many years?
would you like me to just play the video?
A lot of unknown things going on behind the scenes.
You were made in a Diddy's bathroom.
Mysteries
Yes.
and a lot of plots for the player to uncover in Psychonauts 2. So that's it. Thanks for taking this deeper look into Psychonauts 2 with me. The game is coming out August 25th, and you can pre-order now. So I'll stop talking.
Should've
so you
maybe
can go and do
asked
that.
for more
Thanks for watching.
specific. Yeah, I mean, it's probably true. I mean, if you're still watching this, it means that you don't mind me talking over the footage, probably. I'm just waiting for Halo like you guys. Like, I'm not saying these games are bad or anything, but let's be honest, man. It's Halo follower. You know, I'm here to cover Halo, and you guys are here to listen to Halo stuff, you know? That's why you subscribed. Hopefully you subscribed. So,
Is this a disco?
meanwhile, just turn it back up.
This I do not like.
I could use some help! Hit your pulse!
This is not good. This is not good.
What if
I got some
we
juicy
open the doors
things
and
to discuss, though, too.
Just run. No stopping, no shooting,
Even though
just
today
straight
we're not
to the
getting any
bridge.
big reveals, we do know that there's going to be multiplayer discussions. It's going to be fun to keep talking about that. No, it's not Psychonauts' fault.
Heavy.
Really? We call them tanks.
I call them brutes. From Latin, brutus.
We'd
Okay.
sound smart calling them brutes.
Eon, you don't want to get in here and help name these?
Nah, I'm good.
I really want to take a look at the Reddit with you guys.
The Anacrusis
Because
is
there's some
looking
really
like
cool
a
stuff
game I
coming
didn't
up
realize I
on
needed in
right
my
now.
life. And here from Stray
I just gotta find a
Bombay
good
to tell us
opportunity
more
to do it.
about the Anacrusis is Chet Felisek.
Okay,
Chet,
I'm going to say
thank you for
Halo.
being here.
Halo.
Thanks for having me.
Now, talk to me about this game, the Anacrusis. What's
Yeah,
the
okay, so some people are saying they can't hear me over the stream. Probably should turn down the stream. I'm not from Reddit. I'm genuinely not. I just have to figure out how I should do this on my back end here.
Cool colors, cool shapes, fantastical sci-fi weapons and creatures. And then it also
Probably
lends itself to
do it
we wanted something
this
that was
way, I
positive
think.
about the players, the characters. You're working together. Sure, there's aliens. Sure, you're fighting them. Sure, you're trying to save Earth. But you're doing it in a positive, uplifting way. Yeah, after the pandemic, I don't think I could go back to a dreary post-apocalyptic world.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize all this.
That's awesome. Now, talk to me about the game.
So apologies, I don't already have this set up.
There's an infinite replay.
So whenever the Halo thing starts, we're gonna switch over to that. But in the meantime, I kind of wanted to look at Reddit with you guys, you know, because first off, I mean, just look at all this cool stuff. All right. I don't know how they made this, but that is very cool. I don't know if that's Blender or Source with a lot of Photoshop work. We have a super chat. Wake, thank you. Do you think they will talk about something big today or just dive deeper into what we already know? So, yeah, they are doing a multiplayer discussion, but as I showed the stream about 10 minutes ago, no big reveals today, but there is going to be a multiplayer discussion about what we saw this week, which is something to look forward to. I don't get this. This is from Crash Bandicoot. I love this guy, but hell yeah. Also, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. So moving on. You know what? I've seen this. This is not an edit. This is really a visor. So probably some pretty wacky skins and visors. How's your Lone Wolves project? It's Lost Wolves, but thank you for asking. Yeah, it's kind of come down to a halt right now just because E3 and but we did just get the script done and the voice actors files are coming in. So we're our first plan of action is to get the storyboard done and show it, premiere it to some audiences, and then after that we will begin to really work on the story. Sadeki Talanga. Why? I think I just suck at pronouncing stuff, but y'all make it really difficult for me. He says, feel free to speak over the stream. We're all here for Halo as well. Yeah, that's what I figured. I appreciate you guys, tuning in, period. But also just kind of letting me catch up a little bit because, like pretty much every day this week, I've been streaming right after waking up. Like, I wake up, I pee, get my coffee, and we're going. In fact, I was actually eating breakfast when the stream started. So, just to give you an idea of how unorganized I am. But let's see. Still trying to set up stuff back in. But yeah, let's keep going. This is such cool art. I don't know why this doesn't have more upvotes. So neat. Oh, but thank you for the super chat. Maddie Cat 247 says, "Love the channel and show you are making. Anything in particular you are looking for during this?" Yeah, so that's a great question. I really need to answer more questions that aren't just super chats, but there's just so much going on this week. But thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate it, Maddie Cat. Today I'm looking forward to just a little bit of clarity as to, I guess, the more unknown things that we saw in the gameplay. Like, there really is nothing that stuck out to me that I want more clarity on, or that I'm specifically really... I want more clarity on everything, just like you guys. I'm a little bit... there's nothing that I'm really needing to see right now, if that makes sense. Like, last year, I was really eager to see stuff that didn't look like with bad lighting. Which, by the way, I've been thinking about making a comparison video because, my God, it's like light and day, or night and day. So I'm thinking I'm gonna actually throw the chat up here. I don't know if you guys would actually want me to start streaming on Twitch or YouTube more regularly. I do have a Twitch with like a lot of followers from just like 5 years ago, probably mostly dead. But yeah, I've been thinking about going to Twitch. I know there's a lot of pros and cons, and I don't know. But also, I did not see this. This is brand new stuff right here. This appears to be new concept art from Cannon Fodder. I did not know this came out, but, well, there you go. That's what I like about Reddit, is there's a lot of content here. Now, this forum hates me, but they apparently like the animations, because that Master Chief versus Locke one, that one blew up. About 20,000 upvotes, which was insane. Excel Master, thank you for the super chat. 40mx something. I don't know what that is or how much that is, but thank you so much, man. If you guys are gonna super chat, might as well send me a wink or a comment or something. I Dark Slay just sent me £2, I think, or €2 with just the comment money. Thanks. I appreciate the support a lot, you guys. So, yeah, as far as making revenue as a YouTuber during this time, it is, I could be making videos or I could be streaming, and I think making videos is like a better way to go as far as views and revenue, but I'm just having so much fun talking to y'all, like, in this live chat. I'm really taking advantage of it, because yeah. Oh, did you see the new MCC Season 7 stuff? Yeah, we should definitely play that, if y'all haven't all seen that. But maybe I'll throw it up here in a second. Still no Halo stuff, as you can see on the bottom right. There's y'all haven't missed anything. So if you're just tuning in, welcome, but you are not late. We really just been looking over Reddit right now. So should I read this? It's kind of a text wall a little bit, but in hindsight, Halo not having Battle Royale was one of the best decisions ever made for the Halo series. Back when Infinite was first showed, I strongly assumed that it would be Battle Royale. Yeah, didn't we? Then when Frank said we're only interested in the BR, go make your own BR in Forge. Yeah, so we do know that Forge is going to be pretty damn powerful, and we'll probably be able to make Battle Royale in it. But as far as like native mode in Infinite, it is looking like a very low chance at this point. And what's this live stream about? That's a great question. Again, a lot of people keep flooding in, and then some people leave, and then it looks like the views aren't changing much, but they are. But yeah, there is going to be Halo Infinite multiplayer discussion today at some point on the bottom right. This is a live presentation from Xbox, kind of a more in-depth look, which is why when these games pop up on the stream, they're up for a while, unlike during the main E3 event. Let's see. Maybe I should get y'all's Twitch chat up here, or sorry, the YouTube chat. Someone talked about Twitch. Get my words mixed up here. Yeah, look at how I feel like I should probably have a better setup than I do. It's just a bunch of screen. But King B055, thank you so much for the super chat. Twitch has 0 exposure, so if you are starting, good luck. Rely on the YouTube Red for exposure. Yeah, I would be constantly needing to convince everyone on YouTube to go over to Twitch if I did that. Ideally, I would stream on both at the same time. That way, everyone can just go whichever platform they prefer. But it is kind of awkward to stream on YouTube, I guess. That's why I don't do it often. But if I were to do a more regular thing, then I would probably start thinking Twitch. But MattyCat247 says, thoughts on the rarity colors on armor app pick. I'm not quite sure what he means by that. Thoughts on rarity. Well, thank you for the super chat nonetheless. I did see that the armors in the multiplayer overview and whatnot, they looked very different. There's only going to be one armor coating per Spartan that you have, which we thought, well, could we mix and match them and stuff? And it's probably not a great system. They say it's for the player, but it's probably not. Wow, that's a pretty cool tattoo. As a Halo content creator, do you ever get tired of Halo? I know there was a big content drop prior. Yeah, I definitely do. I definitely do get tired of Halo. But you know what? I've been re-energized. As I made in my video the other day, my honest thoughts about Halo, which probably could have been made in a more professional manner, more thought out, more scripted. But I just wanted to just quickly update you guys that I've been replenished. And this guy, smaller Halo YouTuber, he made a video talking about 343 Industries and how they now understand emotion and tone. And I never really, of course, those are the things that 343 has been sucking on really bad, but emotion and tone, that's just profound to me to think about, they finally understand. I could keep going on to that, but just those words, emotion and tone, just means so much to me, and they've ignored that so much, And when I think about like Halo 5, what were they trying to tell us there? All right, I see Halo stuff, so let's see what the screen is. Oh.
I don't want to see Mommy.
Okay, still nothing Halo related. I guess the backdrop is just going to be Halo related, but they're probably going to save that for near last in this stream. So I'm going to guess in the next 10 to 30 minutes. I don't know if this is a 2-hour event or a 1-hour event, but if that's the case, then we're pretty close, aren't we? We're pretty close. So yeah, Season 7 is coming. I don't know if y'all know this, but Pixel Flare or His name is Will, I think. I think we used to be friends, but he got hired by 343 a few months ago, and he's been making these really sick. He's a marketing designer for 343 and Halo, and so I mean these are just profoundly epic, and I hope 343 continues to hire content creators. I mean, this guy's been. I think we started YouTube together, but you know he ran. I think he started Ultimate Halo. You know, so. Pretty cool, but season 7 is there. I might show that trailer here soon if you guys really want to see it. I'm lost. What's happened so far? Nothing. Yeah, if you're just joining us, nothing. We're still waiting for Halo to have a multiplayer discussion. It looks like this segment is going to be anywhere from 4 to 8 minutes, I'm guessing. No big revelations, but certainly something that if you're excited for Halo Infinite, you're going to want to stick around for. And in the meantime, we're just talking about Halo, you know. Yeah, just scrolling on Reddit. Damn, I need to blow my nose. This sucks. If you zoom in, you can see a real reflection of his visor. I wonder if it's just for cutscenes. Yeah, I don't know, but this looks absolutely beautiful. I mean, so cool. You know, and I was just thinking about, like, the design of the story. Like, how cool is it going to be to see Master Chief fight Jaga? You know, that elite with the robotic arm? And it's just going to be neat. You know, we saw them fight in Mega Bloks, but what I'm referencing here is actually this Spartan here. Or, sorry, this elite here. But this guy, I have a theory that he's going to be, since this game is more or less kind of like a spiritual reboot, this guy looks pretty evil, pretty bad dude. He's obviously killed Spartans, and unlike the Arbiter, he has been given a chance to... Oh, now I'm getting distracted, because I'm actually interested in what they're showing. Age of Empires 4. I really loved the second one, but anyway. I think this might be the new Arbiter. I think he might have a really cool redemption arc ahead of him. Halo Infinite will be awesome, absolutely. Let's see, we have a super chat here. I should have explained it better. The picture of the Halo app where you can customize your armor has rarity colors. Yeah, so I actually did mention that in my stream a couple days ago, but so rarity colors is kind of like think Destiny. You know, there's going to be legendary helmets, probably mythic helmets, you know, mildly mythic helmets, whatever. There's going to be a bunch of different categories of armor. Also, Reach Marines are back. This is from I don't know who this is from. Oh, One Spook. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, they are, aren't they? Very classic looking. Which you say Halo Reach Marines, but really they're Halo CE Marines that have been updated. That's really what. And you know, a lot of people I don't think remember that Reach was really heavily focused on bringing back elements from Combat Evolved. So, yeah, don't spam the chat. Hi. Come on. No need to do that. So, let's keep looking, man. There's still nothing Halo related. Kruger. Oh my gosh. Now this should be my collection, but I do not have this many Halo books. There's a lot of content out there if you really want to dive deep into lore. I mean, now given half these books will probably confuse the hell out of you, like especially the Foreigner trilogy, I have to imagine that these get really confusing. So you need to build a foundation of just reading all the UNSC stuff, and then the immediate book before Point of Light I read, and I was really pissed off about it. Or maybe it was the first in that trilogy. But it was where John Forge's daughter... Is his name John Forge? Yeah, the guy from... Like the guy that died in Halo Wars 1. His daughter went out on a big adventure looking for him. Because, you know, they were lost in space. The Spirit of Fire was lost in space for 30 years. And she spent a lot of that time, I think. Or maybe it was after the Spirit of Fire arrived on the Ark. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, maybe oh, that's not safe for work. I don't want to click on that. I just saw Cortana. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I drew Prophet of Mercy. Oh, very neat. Just take a look at that. I clicked on that really fast, but if y'all want to look at that, that's very neat. Finally, a worthy opponent. Yeah, that's a good point. Assassinations could be gone. We just really haven't seen them, but like in my video the other day, the fact that 343 is trying to monetize everything possible in order to break even and then make a profitable multiplayer in the future of Halo and stuff, then they need to make sure everything possible is cosmetic. But you know, I just maybe with what they were trying to show here, it just didn't have maybe it just didn't have the right appeal, or maybe it's just not quite integrated the right way, or they have some cool things about assassinations that they're just not ready to share. I mean, there's already a lot to decipher from this multiplayer overview, as y'all have probably seen. I did a big breakdown, so definitely check it out. Spent a lot of time on it. Loop. He's looping it. Yeah, the Wasp is back. It doesn't look like there's any evident changes. It's even on the cover art, which I thought was a weird choice. I sure hope they do some co-op or some multi-person vehicles that can carry allies, you know, like the Falcon. I think they said that only Season 1 would be free. Oh, interesting. I saw some people wanting personal AI that it's not lore. In my opinion, it will not fit the game. Oh, I mean, it could be lore. Who knows? They may have just changed it to, because 343 likes to do that. But I mean, okay, so let me ask you guys a question. Everyone in the chat. By the way, welcome. You haven't missed anything Halo related on the Xbox Game Showcase yet, or this extended segment. Let me ask you guys all a question. So, do you think 343 understands Halo now? Yes or no? And feel free to say why. But I want to get I want to see all the yeses. I want to see all the nos. Yeah, the red versus blue colors are gone. Also, this is pretty cool. I'm glad I can show you all this. We're getting a lot of yeses. It looks like, yeah, a lot of people believe that 343 understands Halo now. I'm seeing mostly yeses here, but this is cool. The physics is insane here. The physics are insane. Take a look at this. Look at that. Look at that. I think it's a Magnum, yeah. This bot gets shot in the head. He flies backwards, probably taking in the impact of the bullet, which is pretty cool. All right, oh, this looks like Battlefield 4. So maybe, I don't know if y'all want to see this. There's a lot of Battlefield people in here that are excited about things.
The thing that will really excite players is the introduction of all this cutting-edge technology that we're just infusing into the
Cole, thank you for the super chat. Bring back Spartan Ops, but with more diverse missions.
On the battlefield, it's just
I don't know. I didn't really feel it, to be honest with you. But thank you for the super chat.
So much more tools.
But if they did it in a better way, I think it could work.
Battlefield than it's been in a very long time. So we really enable our players to be really, really creative with the tools we give them. And that's what Battlefield is kind of all about. Being in a massive, open war setting and being able to say like, hey, there's a problem over there, go solve it. And the players actually choose how they want to solve that problem. And through that process,
I'm just going to let this play a little bit and see what you guys think. I know a lot of people were looking forward to Battlefield
3 really distinct experiences. The one we're talking about right now, we're talking about today, is the experience that we call the all-out warfare experience. Now, this is the place you go in 2042 when you want to have those classic Battlefield experiences. This massive war, where it's, you know, air, land, and sea just coming together in these massive battles. But we've actually made a distinction between two separate experiences within the all-out warfare experience, and that's Conquest, which is a very much a staple for our franchise. It's something that our fans know and love, and we're just taking the Conquest experience to the max this time around. Conquest is all about the freedom, the access to the sandbox, being able to choose where you fight, how you fight, where you want to go. But it's also experience that will allow players to kind of choose their own pacing. And there's moments in Conquest where it's complete chaos. When a lot of players they just converge on a single point and the chaos goes up to the maximum. But there's also moments within Conquest where, you've just had that big battle. And now you've won that battle, and you go like, okay, you bring up your map and you have a conversation with your friends and you say like, okay, where do we want to go next? Oh, we need to go over there to that state. Okay, how do we get there? Oh, let's call in a vehicle. And a vehicle, you can call it in wherever you want. And then your friends, you hop into the transport vehicle and you go across the map and you go to a new location where there's a new fight. So Conquest is just that full freedom to the sandbox. And right next to that lives the other experience within All Out Warfare, which is Breakthrough. And this is a significantly more guided experience. It takes you on a journey throughout the entire map. And in Breakthrough, there's an attacker and there's a defender team. And we kind of compress them into fighting head-on in a specific space. So the time to action is short and the level of chaos is really, really high. There's helicopters and there's tanks and there's infantry. There's just everything happening, and it's just complete chaos in Breakthrough. So
see, this is
All Out Warfare kind of takes these two.
This is what Halo needs to do. I hate to see the contrast so contrasty, but like this is 128 players, and Halo has 24, which is only 8 more than what it's always had, which is kind of a bummer, but
which is a double to what we've done in the past in the franchise. And this is really, you can have those moments when you're playing 2042, when you're sitting in the helicopter and you look down and you just see this, sea of tanks, soldiers, infantry, helicopters, fighter jets just moving in unison, and you kind of get this feeling that you're part of something bigger. Like a really, really massive army, and that's the strength of the massive play spaces that we're building. And we're able to really make this play really well. We've altered our way of handling level design because it wasn't just as simple as just making it bigger and then portion the locations out. It doesn't really work that way. So we've leaned into a new type of design mentality that we're calling clustering. Now, what clustering means that you will have a massive battlefield in front of you. But within this massive battlefield, you will have particular clusters of objectives. So the map Hourglass is set in Doha, Qatar. And it is, I'm not going to go into any specifics about exactly how large it is, but it is definitely one of the larger maps that we will have in 2042. It's one of my favorite maps personally, because it has some really
Warzone amount. But yeah, I was really hoping for a little bit bigger
of the map. You'll have a fully destructible village. This is a great space for.
We have a few super chats we need to catch up on, guys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this on mute. Johnny Ark says, "Oops. Oh God, my stream's going all over the place." There we go. Nope. You can tell that I stream a lot, right? Jesus. Okay. Anyway. That pistol headshot is such a good in-depth animation. Also agreed, more Spartan Ops. It was fun. Yeah, I mean, they might need to do things differently. I don't know. Maybe it was just Halo 4's gameplay, but thank you for the super chat a lot. I really do appreciate that. Wake says, did you check out the cosplay guide that 343 made? In the PDF, they said that the armor can carry the MK50 sidekick and the M6D Magnum. Halo CE Magnum returning. So I saw something from Kevin Cool about it. I just really been kind of overwhelmed here, but with catching up on news. But yeah, it looks like the classic Halo 1 pistol is returning, despite them saying that it won't be returning at least at launch. So something to think about. Thank you, Wake, for the 100 whatever this is, but I appreciate it nonetheless. And Plant Lord, thank you for the super chat. He says, Halo versus Battlefield, Battle of the Grappling Hooks. Man, the grappling hook is such a selling point for new and old players in Halo Infinite. It's just hilarious. Hilarious. Thank you for that super chat there. And I know we had another one. Sway Boy says, Halo should bring back Invasion and make it 50 versus 50 players. That's what a lot of people said that one mode was going, or the Big Team Battle 2.0 was going to be like Invasion a mix of invasion. It might have some invasion elements, but I really hope that at least Forge and custom games give us somewhat complicated tools because and make things possible. Like I think it was like a year ago, someone finally figured out how to make Halo 5 Battle Royale with like the more tightening kind of map limitations. You know, you have to escape the death rings that keep getting smaller and smaller. So someone figured that out in Forge, and I thought that was really cool that even Halo 5 years later, people are figuring out how to do things and really specific, complicated ways, you know, pulling off these pretty cool things. Halo Collector's Edition, and I don't know what he's spamming that for. Probably just gonna put him in timeout there. So, anyways, if you're just tuning in, guys, welcome. This is my my hosting sort of the Xbox Game Showcase Extended, and today we are definitely getting Halo news. Although the community director at 343 Sketch said that nothing is going to be, there's not going to be any big reveals today. So this might actually be the Halo portion. Let's take a listen.
From Battlefield 2042, and DICE looks poised to deliver.
They're probably just going to
During the showcase on Sunday, we announced an exciting collaboration between Rare, Xbox, and Disney with Sea of Thieves, A Pirate's Life, a free update which brings Captain Jack Sparrow and his crew sailing into the sea.
Nothing Halo related, but as I was saying, Sketch confirmed that there's not going to be any big reveals or revelations today. So if you're expecting another trailer, no, that's not going to happen, sadly. But doesn't mean that we're not going to get maybe a little new gameplay, you know, a few new snippets, hopefully, because that's what we're seeing with all these other franchises. You know, we've seen pretty much every game from the Xbox E3 event except for Halo. So Halo has to be coming soon, right? It's been almost an hour since the stream started. So, and they did kind of save Halo for last, almost-ish. It's like kind of like 20 minutes before the showcase ended. But yeah, the Spectacle, thank you so much for the super chat. My gosh, $14 is crazy if that is US dollars. But Halo multiplayer is free? Yeah. Yeah, not the campaign, but the multiplayer is free to play. I still need to figure out more about the season pass and battle pass for you guys so I understand it and I can share that information with you and make it easy to understand. But I'm, to be frank, a little bit confused. It looks like the game is going to launch with a battle pass, and I'm going to guess it's going to be like $10 or $15 that has a bunch of unique armor and things like that. But the first season is going to be free. And so at least someone said that in the chat, and I was like, well, if they're saying the first season is going to be free, then that means the other seasons aren't free. But we're probably going to see something a little bit like Fortnite microtransactions, you know, that are... And Fortnite, you know, you can give it crap, but it has done well with the microtransactions, I think. Although they're a little expensive and maybe buying them is not smart unless you have a lot of money, but if you really want to buy them, I guess. But you know, they do it in a way where all the items are like very rare, and you know they're limited, and you might see an item on the 48-hour store or whatever. Or I think Halo's now called the exchange on MCC, where you can only get exclusive items. So that kind of encourages players to come back and get really exclusive looking armor and stuff that, you know, no one else can really easily get. They have to wait a long time before, if ever, that item becomes available again. And so I expect something like that is going to be, you know, MCC was a testing grounds for Halo Infinite, and so I expect Halo Infinite to get the same treatment in that way. But Sedeki says multiplayer being free implies that all game modes, including Forge, are free, right? That's a lot of content. Microtransactions should be expected. So, by the way, are we getting something Halo? We're not getting something Halo related. This is Forza, isn't it? Or no, they already talked about Forza. Yeah, that's not Halo. That is not Halo. Anyway, so thank you for the super chat, my dude. Multiplayer being free to play. Yeah, Forge better be free because the campaign just by itself is $60, right? And what's weird to me is that they haven't even really strongly promoted pre-orders, or, well, really, maybe none of these games have, but maybe that comes later. I don't know. It's been a while. It's been like 5 years since whatever Halo 5 was getting marketed, and I was covering that. So I just remember in the past, before C19, there was a lot more pressure on pre-ordering. So, by the way, I should probably talk about this soon, but like, is it worth it getting the Xbox Series X? Because I know, like, I want to play Halo in the best possible light, like with the best possible graphics, and the first time I'm playing this, but I'm like, they really need to explain to people, like, look, what are you actually getting on the Xbox Series X? Because right now it goes like $800. It's going for like $800 on eBay. Is that worth buying right now, or is that a massive waste of money because we're getting a clone port from Xbox One, right? Halo and the Xbox One, I can't confirm this, but it was probably, this is old technology. Xbox One is very old, right? Even though it seemed like yesterday that it was brand new, but it is very old technology now. It's very outdated. So if Halo Infinite is having to compensate for that, then that's going to be troublesome. Anyway, thank you for the microtransaction. I guess that is technically a microtransaction, but thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate that support. Even watching, though, is also supporting my content. So I really, big thanks to you guys for tuning in. I'm honored that you are here chilling out with me. And yeah, I might just be streaming more often. I don't know. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I have fun with it every year. I really only do it during E3, but Jofi says 343 probably has a lot more up their sleeves. P.S. I love your content, my guy. Thank you, Jofi. Really do appreciate the super chat. 343 definitely has a lot of stuff that they're not sharing. And actually, let's see what the
relation. Joining us is Jorg Newman, the head of Microsoft Flight Simulator.
No, okay. Come on, the people want Halo. The people want Halo. So back to your comment. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think Forge is going to be mind-blowing, to be honest. I don't talk about that a lot because it's a very niche thing. I mean, despite everyone knowing what it is, not everyone's going to be forging, but there's Halo YouTubers like Infinite Forges that's probably going to be on top of that and completely exploring the possibilities and discussing that. So you guys should definitely go check him out. Infinite Forges. And he actually just remade something that I thought was pretty cool. He remade Hydra, or whatever this map is called. So this is in Halo 5, if you couldn't tell. But yeah, he has an obsession with just remaking Halo Infinite maps in Halo 5. So if you want to get a feel of these maps before they come out, then go follow him. But thank you for the super chat there. We actually have, I think I've missed quite a few now. The way this works is kind of dumb. Like if it times out, then I have to go look for the super chat. I am so sorry if someone super chats and I don't read it. I feel terrible. Scotty Too Hottie Peg says, will they do a collector's edition of the game or console? Yeah, absolutely, right? I mean, they totally wouldn't not do that, right? Thank you for the super chat. R7 Serg says, I want Samuel L. Jackson AI. Yeah, I showed that to you guys the other day, didn't I? With Samuel L. Jackson, he was talking about the awards. Halo. Look up Halo 4 awards, or maybe I'll show it again. It's a pretty funny clip, or animation where Halo 4 got some award, and yeah. Basically, Samuel L. Jackson was yelling at Captain Del Rio, which, by the way, I'm still working on. I want to do the Master Chief versus Captain Del Rio, but it's lore accurate. But it's ran into some technical hurdles that I'm working through right now. Mainly just busy with E3. But thank you for the super chat there, man. KC says, I don't mind microtransactions if the game is free. Yeah, but the big discrepancy here is that you're still paying the $60 for the campaign. But I think, and that's why I started talking about pre-orders earlier, I guess the game is $60, right? I mean, there are places that you can already pre-order Halo Infinite. And I'm not even really sure, to be honest with you guys, like how much the game is going to be going to cost, but it's probably going to be $60, you know, and they're probably going to rationalize that by saying that this is the biggest Halo game ever, and maybe give us some multiplayer stuff like that. Battle Pass might be included on the $60 base game, you know. So Jaun are, and you might get some special perks, some special armor coatings with getting Halo Infinite, the base game, you know, not just jumping on the free multiplayer. By the way, that is such a big thing. I really should be talking about that more, but the game being free to play is kind of a massive. Now we're actually seeing gameplay, and I'm like, okay, this might be able to convince the masses, you know, if this is really fun and it's got that physics kind of bouncy Halo 3 gameplay, then this game might feel a little bit archaic to people used to like Apex Legends and Halo, but that's fine. I mean, you look at games like Team Fortress 2, and honestly, I think of arcade kind of like gameplay, and that game is still running. You know, it's doing really well. Damn, even these streams have microtransactions. Yeah, and look at you. You're indulging in on it. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. That's funny. Would there be a video about this Halo conversation? Probably. You know, I don't know. I might just cut my stream up and put that as an independent video where you could just rewatch the stream, but I'm not actually quite sure. Well, it really depends on what they talk about, because if you're just tuning in, we are getting Halo news today. We still have seen nothing. Geez, I sure hope we're getting Halo news today. I mean, they said that they're showing stuff during... Let me show the tweet. Okay, right here. So if you're just tuning in, this is what is happening today. Any new info for Infinite for tomorrow's stream? And what did 343 say? No new reveals or big revelations. It's a conversation between some journalist dude and a few folks at the 343 team chatting about the multiplayer trailer. So, why I've had most of this chat on mute, this is new gameplay. This is new clips. So even though we might see the same stuff that we've seen already this week, I think we're going to get a few new facts. I think we're going to get a few new tidbits of information. That's my theory. You know, I'm in the dark like you guys, but Yuman says, will you miss Thruster and all the Spartan abilities? No. Although I think Thruster had some potential. That's probably the one that I'm most nice with, I guess. Most friendly to. I don't think Sprint is healthy for Halo. But as long as they design the maps in a way where it properly compensates for it, then it should be fine. The main problem with it is that Sprint is actually kind of an illusion, because when you sprint, you go 1.8 times faster, or 2 times faster, whatever, 2 times faster, whatever. And there was actually a whole very interesting breakdown of this with Halo 5. But the maps, like classic maps, like I think Heretic, or was it called Midship? I don't know. Maybe those are Halo 2 and 3 maps. Anyway, but that one Covenant map that's like a very small arena 4v4 map, that was actually twice as big. So they made it where players can run twice as fast with Sprint, but the maps were now, classic maps were now twice as large, which is, that's what I would call redundant and a waste of time for everyone. I think it's, if you're going to make the maps twice as large, what is the point of Sprint? Other than just an illusion? You know, I don't know. That's a whole another thing I could go on talking about. But anyway, we're past that now, I think. I hope. Obviously, sprint, clamber, and slide are going to be things which I'm fine with, I guess. You know, just... Dear God, do y'all remember Armor Lock? Thank you guys for the super chat so far. Predator321 says, how different do you think Forge is going to be compared to Halo 5's Forge? Halo 5's Forge was so advanced, I don't know what else they can do. I can tell you what they might do, or what they could do. Add more scripting, put the tools on PC again, and I think just add, I mean, with the Xbox Series X, certainly there's going to be more room to add more objects and more complicated codes and stuff like that. But they're probably going to have to be cross-platform, right? I mean, whatever works on the Series X is going to have to work on the Xbox One. So Don't quite know how that's going to work with Forge and stuff. But AI is a huge thing, and we know bots are coming into the game, so I would love to see AI. I would love to see campaign tools. I mean, what else can they do? They can make it where we can make our own campaigns. If they really wanted to be brave, they could release a version of Slipspace Engine so that me, you, and everyone else can make our own Halo mods, our own cinematics. And, you guys know I love animation. I would totally be down to animate a Halo Infinite, DLC mod, for everyone to play for free, obviously, and just, it'd be sick. It's worked out well for Gary's mod. It's and every other Source game like Black Mesa and mods that turned out to be like real sellable products that Valve actually works with the team and splits the revenue. It's just insane. But my point is that when you give the tools to the community, they create content for the game, and instead of just waiting for 343 to get around to finally release content once a year or maybe twice a year, or wait for Bungie to finally release content. If they release these tools, we'd be getting some insane mods. Like look at Fallout, for example, or Skyrim. You're still getting high quality mods years later. So yeah, thank you for the Super Chat, Predator. Crypto Fiend says, all I want is infected game modes. Yeah, hopefully at launch, because we know infection was not a thing at launch, I think, for Halo 5. Infection is really fun, and I hated what they did with Halo 4, honestly. But, moving forward with rather simple... I mean, and I say this, and I know it's possible because people have done it with mods. Like that guy, my friend Rejected Shotgun, he's done mod. Like, you can play as a hunter, with, 8 versus 8 players in Halo 3. These were things possible in the engine. Just for whatever reason, they decided not to do that. They decided not to have flood multiplayer in Halo 3. These things on a practical level aren't actually difficult to do at all. It comes down to downloading the tools and then changing a few file links, I guess, tags. I'm trying to make it really simple for everyone to understand. But if you change this line of code into this line of code, but it's not even codes, you can have flood Halo 3 matches. People have already made, which I've been meaning to cover, flood firefight in Halo 3. These damn seasons keep breaking everything, which season 7 is dropping in a few days. So anyway, yeah, thank you, Crypto. Moving on. Thank you guys, by the way, for joining me. I really do appreciate the hanging out. This dude says, Armor Lock was terrible, but Hologram and Jetpack were a lot of fun. So was Promethean Vision in 4. Yeah, it's funny you bring up Promethean Vision. We do know that the stealth tracker or threat sensor or something, I think it's the threat sensor, that's a wrist equipment item that is going to do sort of a similar thing that Promethean Vision did, which I love for a few reasons, because it's not a loadout. Instead, it is something that you're going to have to fight for on the battlefield and then use strategically to see players around a corner, which we saw in the multiplayer overview. Or maybe actually the multiplayer trailer. But thank you for the super chat there, my dude. Dustin says, do you think a classic mode in maps with no sprint would be a possibility? Yeah, I have to imagine that they're going to do that at some point. Right? Certainly. They're going to have, like, I mean, even Halo 5 did that, I think, not too long after launch. But I think people are just going to play the game. Like, the masses are just going to roll into whatever they give us, whatever that experience is that they want us to play. And, yeah. Oh, man, I'm so annoyed. I actually got a copyright claim on my stream on the main E3 day because I was rolling these trailers and I wasn't talking over a lot of it. And I mean, like, that's just such a bad way to promote your... No one's going to want to talk about your game if you have copyrighted music. That's going to make it where people that survive and do this stuff for a living don't even want to talk about your game because they're going to get claimed. And they're all 4 hours of Halo discussion is going to get is going to get claimed by literally 14 seconds of music that you baked into your trailer. Just found that kind of annoying. But anyway, I got it figured out, thankfully. I just trimmed it out. But okay, I already answered that. Thank you, Dustin, for the super chat. Really do appreciate it. And also appreciate all of you guys tuning in. Sorry, I really can't read all these comments. I can barely keep up with the super chats. Hello, greetings from Belgium. Thank you. Greetings, my dude. It just gives another dynamic. This guy's talking about sprint in the chat. The map has different needs. That's why I think sprint debate is stupid. I mean, it really depends on how they execute it, because sprint in itself, I don't think is a bad thing. It's usually how it's implemented that can be a problem. If it's not brought down into like a science and map design isn't compensating in the right way or overcompensating, then you're going to get something like Halo 5, which really did not have flow. I mean, even team games for me felt like free-for-all. That's what I really hated about Halo 5's gameplay. Even though I will say, of course, I had fun with Halo 5's gameplay. I just thought it wasn't really Halo. That's why I'm so excited for Halo Infinite. It's like, this is very resemblant of what I feel like Halo 3 gameplay is. You know, it really honors it. But Predator321, oh, thank you again for the super chat, my dude. Still not knowing the rating for Halo Infinite makes me nervous. Still hoping it's rated M, especially if the Flood is going to be in it. The lack of blood already says a lot, though. So they might release Halo Infinite's campaign as a standalone kind of experience and rate that as M-rated. And I hope they do that because I want to see some Flood. I want to see some Flood gore. I don't like gore in video games or really anything, but something about the Flood I'm okay with. You know, as long as it's not, I don't know, I guess it could be creepy. I guess it could be like Dead Space kind of gameplay, but yeah, I'm surprised. I'm almost getting worried that we're not going to see Halo today because it's been a while now, but over an hour now that everyone here is waiting for Halo, and I can't help. I'm going to make sure I didn't miss something because, well, I know y'all. Okay, no. There's 46,000 people watching in the on the official stream, which I'm mirroring right now, or hosting, if you will. And people are still asking for Halo. Looks a little bit like this chat. But yeah, so okay, we haven't missed anything. Halo multiplayer stuff is coming soon. This must be a 2-hour show, so I'm going to guess in the next 20-25 minutes we're going to get the Halo segment. Still not knowing the rating for Halo Infinite makes me nervous, so yeah. The lack of blood already says a lot, though. Yeah, there is a lack of blood. I don't think the free-to-play experience is meant to be M-rated. I don't think... Look, I'm trying to get in the headspace of 343, and I'm like, look, we're trying to get this game out to as many people as possible. We've already made it free to play. Why would we needlessly limit this game to being M-rated? Tons of parents are going to be like, no, I don't want you to play Halo. It's M-rated. So they should make Halo Infinite, the multiplayer side, T-rated, and then leave the campaign alone. If the story happens to not take advantage of gore and stuff like that, then so be it. Make it teen-rated, but I hope they didn't change or cut anything because they were afraid that they would get the M-rated thing. I don't know. So that's my thoughts about that. But thank you for the super chat, Predator. Really do appreciate that. Wood comment says, programmer here, I feel the ability to write scripts, real script, C, etc. I don't know what that is. Hashtag. And Forge would be astronomical for both Forge and the modding community. Yeah, and you know, really, they don't need us. Like even Source, like from Valve, is actually closed source, but we kind of get the surface level of tools and can mod on top of that enough to have a foundation to build new experiences on. And so when they give us Slipspace Engine, if they ever do, then that's going to be insane. They don't need to give us the actual coding where people are going to tear down the engine and make something completely different, which a lot of developers don't like for some reason, even Valve. But they don't want us to see their you know, the encryption, you know, and how they really made the program. But giving us the tools still would be really cool, and I don't see the harm in it at all. I just feel like I wish more companies would do that. All right, making sure I haven't missed any super chats here. Every body shot makes blood trails. Blood is back. I haven't really been able to... I haven't paid attention to the blood trails, actually. There probably is some, but... Sword Lord, thank you for the super chat. Probably, but that's not enough to give the game an M rating, actually. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens with the ratings, but it might just be different. Hidden Skull armor unlocks. Yes, Cameron McMillian. Great idea. I think it'd be really cool to have skulls that appear on, like... They should have, like, an Easter egg weekend where skulls are hidden on the map. On multiplayer maps, some players have to go find that to unlock a special shoulder piece or helmet or stuff like that. That might be distracting. Maybe that might just ruin multiplayer for the weekend, though, because everyone's going to be looking for the skull. There's going to be like 100 players. But you know what? If they even had drops, like special drops that were kind of rare on the map, like in a drop pod, it would fall down and be like, legendary helmet, dropped here. Go get it. And only one player can get it. That would create a lot of wildness, right? If they just dropped the recon equivalent armor somewhere in the middle of random BTB maps. He suddenly mentioned that theater would come back. So Joseph Satan talked about theater coming back in a subtle way. I think I remember about that. He did actually talk about Forge, although we really saw nothing. Don't spam the chat war. Come on, man. They should hide the skulls in campaign. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I was just trying to be extra about it, but yeah, totally. Okay, so 1 second, guys. I'm gonna turn this back up.
Difficult. And then you also want to have the right mutations equipped as well. And if you're playing with your friends, it might be good for one of your friends or yourself to use the brand new crossbow we're going to put into the game, so you can have some range DPS while someone else like face tanks the Broodmother. Yeah. So it's going to be pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. So again, going back to community, I know you love getting feedback about Grounded, obviously starting as an early access game, but what are some of the things that you're looking for as far as in this update? And what was something that you got feedback-wise from the community that you put in this update?
Yeah, so there's it's one thing that we love working with community. So that's something that we, as developers, we love just hearing what people have to say about the game, and we're continually developing it with the community. So there's a lot of new things in our new update. One of those things is flipping buildings, and that's one thing that we're really just adding like those little features. Another one is just sprinting up ladders, which is something.
Alrighty, so I am back from blowing my nose, and still same thing, no Halo. Not very surprised at this point. Should the Battle Pass be an infinite? Should it function like it does in MCC with tokens, or should it work on like Call of Duty with 1 to 100 levels? Yeah, so I've said this earlier. Thank you, by the way, Bryce Crispy. I like that name, by the way, Bryce Crispy. I don't fully understand how the Battle Pass works, but it's basically just a DLC, right? Just a $10, $15 DLC package with content that you can unlock. It gives you the privilege to unlock those things. And then also it gives you a bunch of unlocks. The things are basically just buying. It's basically a microtransaction package, right? How long must the new campaign be? You hope. I think I know what you're saying there. How long do I hope the new campaign is? I mean, to be realistic, I don't really expect games like Halo or, I don't know, Battlefield or any of these big shooters to have campaigns over 6 hours long. Like, they always say that it's 12 hours, or I think Halo 5, it claimed its campaign was actually 12 hours, and which is not true. You could actually do it in like 3 hours and 45 minutes. But I mean, as long as it's better over 4 hours, right? I missed your super chat. What? Kyle Denson, I apologize if I did do that. I was talking there for a long time. Thank you, Bryce, again for the super chat. Let me go see if I can find that. That must have been a while ago. Kyle Denson, could you just copy your message and don't send me another super chat? Just I'll be looking for it in the chat here. Well, you gotta hurry. Anyway, Marcus, was that Marcus Lateau? That's not him. Oh, okay. Thought it was the Bungie guy. That's insane, man. Oh man, Infinite Forges, he is on top of it. How am I missing super chats? I don't understand. I low-key want to say y'all are trolling me, but I don't know, this chat is kind of crazy. Oh, you know what? Actually, there's actually a place on the stream that I can see everyone's super chats, exclusively just the super chats. Oh. Okay, there is a place, but it's not showing anything for some reason. It says no new super chats. Do you think... Okay, so, well, anyway, Kyle Denson said, do you think armor ability should be a pickup? Yeah, absolutely. That's what I've been saying all week. Thank you, Kyle, for your super chats. I think that would really cure Halo of a lot of its problems if sprint's debatable, but like things like armor lock or jetpack or grapple hook, which we do know is going to be doing this, are pickups on the map to be fought over, to be competed over for, and then to be used as an overall advantage to the game, whether it's Slayer or 2-bomb, 1-bomb, or flag, or whatever it is. These abilities can give you a massive advantage, especially doing simple things like the repulsor, which in the gameplay confirms you can do a rocket jump with. And that's going to be able to put you on the enemy side. It's gonna screw with map control, but that's the point of it, is that as long as it's fought over and competed over, then it's adding to the sandbox. It's not taking away from it, which I feel like loadouts do take away from the sandbox. At the very least, it's ruined potential, even if it doesn't ultimately screw with the sandbox. I think those abilities would be way more fun to be. I mean, how cool is it? You're going to be the only guy on the map with a grapple hook. And if you're good at it, if you're having a good day, then you're going to be able to shred some people up with the grapple hook. Especially if you have a sniper or an energy sword, you're just swinging around. I mean, it's just a lot of really cool potential. Will you play on controller or keyboard and mouse? I prefer keyboard and mouse, but apparently maybe I missed another super chat here, or maybe people are just saying. But yeah, so I would be playing on controller. I suck at keyboard. I did a stream playing. Oh, hey, I've seen that guy before. Menacing Threat. How are you? Wart. I think definitely controller, because I did a stream playing on keyboard and mouse, and everyone was making fun of me, and I was like, sad face, because I don't suck that much at Halo. Just the keyboard and mouse, man. I'm not. It doesn't feel right to me. Although that is something I've been asking for forever. I just having the it's mainly the mods that I'm looking for. Also, I really want to do this, but in real life. Snowboarding. This looks really fun. It's probably not actually like this in real life, right? I guess if you're good enough. Did I just miss like 10 super chats somehow? Okay, D City. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it. You missed mine as well. When do you think they'll give us a release date? And are you scared that the multiplayer and campaign will release separately? I'm not scared of that. I don't think they are doing that. I mean, Phil Spencer. Oh, here it is.
A new generation built to fight. Together, we are unstoppable.
I don't think they will, but thank you for the super chat.
Are you ready?
Dylan says, lore-wise, how do you think think they're going to explain no more Spartan abilities like ground pound and rocket boost and whatnot. I don't know. The multiplayer's never been. They've never really had to rationalize multiplayer. Well, I guess 343 tried to with war games and stuff. And now they're doing this academy mode where these Spartans are technically training against each other, but I don't know. But thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate that, my dude. I don't think they'll have much trouble explaining that, to be honest, if they explain it at all, or try to explain it at all. But yeah, okay, cool. We finally reached the Halo portion of the show, guys.
Hello.
They're warming us up with this trailer. They're probably going to be talking about some... Hopefully we see a little bit of new gameplay. Again, there's not going to be any big reveals or revelations. It's not going to be any big new trailers or stuff. But, oh, hide chat, please. Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea.
Ordnance drop inbound.
Cool. So we're finally here. It's been an hour and 30 minutes. Heck yeah.
The flag is ours. Please call at your earliest convenience. Now, show me what you can do.
Heck yeah. Let's go. Talk to not get copyright. Oh. I don't think I have much to worry about with Halo stuff.
I am so excited to have Tom, Alex, and Quinn from 343 Industries. Gentlemen, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Now, I've watched this multiplayer trailer numerous times, and I want to see some specific moments from it so we can break it down. Can we roll the trailer to 15 seconds in, and let's talk about a new character?
A new character?
A new day is upon us. A new generation built to fight. Together, we are unstoppable. Are you ready?
All right, now who is this character? She looks like she's in charge.
Your senses are right there. She's very much in charge. That's Commander Laurette. She's in charge of the Spartan Academy, which is the kind of contextual wrapper that the whole multiplayer universe lives in. She is basically training the new generation of Spartans to, become better, and that's really where everything wraps around. I really love this character, and then what's cool is not only is it kind of the contextual wrapper for the game, but it's also we have a whole suite of academy features, we call them, where there's a tutorial that teaches the players the fundamental basics of the game. There's weapon drills that let you practice with every weapon that exists in the game and improve your skills with those. And then there's a whole thing we call training mode, which lets you play against bots on any map, basically, in the game, and lets you experiment with the toys and kind of learn the flows of everything. So we really want to bring players on board with the game, and again, under her orders and her charge.
Now, I want to go to 50 seconds in the trailer because there was a lot of action going on, and I want to check that out.
So now 343's. If you're just tuning in, this is live from the Xbox Game Showcase Extended. And they're basically analyzing their own trailer, it looks like. But he just said something pretty big. Bots are playable on pretty much any map. Pretty much makes me think that there's some maps you can't play bots with, and I wonder why. But yeah, I mean, pretty much what we know. I just hope they talk a little bit about Forge. Fat chance, right? Is it just me, or does the Spartan
I sat up in my chair a little bit on that one because there was a lot going on there. So please, if you can break that down, let me know what we were seeing.
There's a lot to break down. I don't know if we got enough time to get all the way into it.
Yeah.
But some of the things that I really love when I look at that trailer is that first sequence where they have the Bulldog shotgun, they're running through, shotgunning enemies, they grab the commando off the rack, put some shots in, low sensor, like there's all sorts of different things that the player is interacting with, and that's the sandbox. That's what we call the sandbox, the toys that is at the disposal for our players' hands. And we just really love that moment in the trailer where they have the grapple shot, they look up, grapple the ceiling, and then in midair, no scope snipe an enemy, come all the way down, back whack a foe, and then the rest is history as you just see what happened in that trailer. But that's just some of the stuff that players can do, and that's actually the game. That's not just a movie for cinematic experience. Like, that is the game that if players are good enough, put in time, they can actually do the things that you see in that trailer.
Yeah, and few things are more important to Halo multiplayer than like interacting with the sandbox and combining it, picking it up off the map and combining it into awesome play styles. So what we did was every sandbox item in the game, when it spawns, it's spawning on an object in the map, so you can see where those things can be found. And then it also tells you the respawn time of that item, when it's going to come back. And you always know, I can go grab that commando over at this spot like that guy did. So, and then when the players, accrue all those awesome items and do awesome things, you heard the return of Jeff Steitzer, the multiplayer announcer, shouting out medals. So we always want to give players medals when they do really cool things.
So there's medals.
So you heard some there, and you'll hear some later on in the trailer.
Oh, that's awesome. See, when I watch that, to me, that's Halo. That's Halo to me. I absolutely love that. Now, let's skip ahead a little bit more into the trailer to 57 seconds. I heard a voice, so I want to know what this voice is. Let's see it.
Hello, let's do some damage.
Yeah, so that is the player's personal AI. So in Halo 5, there was a squad leader that announced, when weapons are going to come up and other things going on in the match. And in Infinite, we have the player, like Chief has Cortana, they have a personal AI in their helmet that is kind of telling them these things. And it's also another way that players can show their personality in their characters. So there's multiple personalities and characters for the player to choose, so that the right AI is in their helmet, helping them out in combat.
I want to skip ahead a little further here because I think I might have saw a big team battle. So let's go to a minute 40 and check that out.
Skewer acquired.
Grapple jet.
Claim the enemy flag. Return it to base. Ordnance drop inbound. The flag is ours. Please call at your earliest convenience.
That looked like big team battle to me. What's coming new? What are we going to do in big team battle?
New details, please.
I mean, it's not even just that. I mean, it actually opens with actually a 4v4 with a vehicles map called Behemoth at the beginning. So we actually are bringing vehicles back into the 4v4 arena. But then, yes, it definitely transitions into the 12v12 actually BTB part of the game, where we're actually making it a bigger team battle this time. Really wanting to index into the battle fantasy with the more players. Instead of like vehicles just spawning around the map, we have pelicans drop them off. We have ordnance pods that drop in new weapons. And inside of that whole time, you have the battle commander, Lorette, talking in your ear, giving you orders and trying to kind of encourage you to play around, but really just bringing the whole sandbox and the play style around this whole battle experience that we're building.
Yeah, Tom brings up some good points there of Commander Lorette, and you've got your commander on the comms, and then you've got the pelicans dropping vehicles and items off. You got drop pods, everything. It just is like this theater of war that this time around it is this 12v12 bigger team battle, if you will. And just that ending segment, which is like a capture the flag match, is just so beautiful and awesome, where you've got the Pelican drop the Banshee off, teams fight over it. You and your teammate are just making a beeline for the Banshee. Your teammate gets picked off by the sniper, and you're like, oh no, and then you get the skewer, take that sniper out, jump into the Banshee, and you hit the jets and fly up into the sky and go for the enemy flag. That to us is what is so exciting about this version of Big Team Battle, with all of the toys, all the vehicles, the modes coming back, the maps, the brand new maps that you see there. I mean, it's going to be an amazing experience.
Yeah, trust me, I cannot wait to get my hands on it for myself. But let's move on. I want to go to 208 in the trailer because I think I saw a samurai. So let's check that out. Let's go to 208 in the trailer.
Now, show me what you can do.
Okay. So I guess next would be a ninja because that was definitely a samurai. So kind of talk about that. So we're going to start seeing some more customization with the armor coming in Infinite?
I mean, that is a samurai Spartan armor. Yeah. And so it'll be an armor you'll be able to unlock for free in the first season, which is super cool. Players will be able to equip it, you know, gain more armor pieces and customization options for it, et cetera, across the season. And then we actually have more of this stuff kind of coming down the line. There's actually some really cool ideas that we're seeing in that our team that's building that stuff. So there'll be a lot of other cool armors besides just the really core Halo Spartan armors. There'll be some other different kind of twists and things for players to play with.
Awesome. Look, now before we get out of here, first of all, I want to thank all of you for being here to talk about Halo Infinite. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my hands on it and play it. But before we do leave, is there anything else that you want to bring up and let fans out there know about?
Well, I'm excited for people to actually get their hands on it like yourself. So, I mean, if people sign up on our Halo's Insiders program, we have in the summer, we have a technical preview that we're going to be launching, and so people to finally put their hands on the sticks. And I'm just really excited for players to actually finally get to play the game we're working on.
Yeah, and then on launch day, Halo Infinite Multiplayer is free to play, which is new to the franchise. The team is super excited to hopefully bring in, you know, all sorts of fans that have potentially never experienced the franchise or haven't played it in a long time to just try it out. Come in and try it out with your friends.
Me, with my buddies, if I have some friends out there that haven't played Halo before, I'm like, well, it's free. Just come on. Let's jump in, download it. Let's check it out. And if it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, then hey, it's not. But kind of think it'll be for you. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, that's the other big key of that point is PC, right? Like this is a PC game as well. We've been putting a lot of effort into that. So not only is it going to be console, but also PC, free to play. Like the barrier to entry is so low, and that has us excited. And I think as we really to really think about it is we've been working on this game, and as developers, when you work on a game, you want to get that game out there. And that almost seems like, for us, that's the finish line. But in reality, it's going to be the starting line for all of us, for us and the Halo fans. Day one, there's going to be a bunch of content there and things that are exciting and good. But then we're going to add more content. We're going to add more maps. We're going to add more modes and weapons and vehicles, equipment items. Damn. And it's just the beginning of this whole journey that we've been on for a while, and we're going to take everyone else with us as the game comes out.
I'm excited. Gentlemen, again, thank you so much.
Oh.
Now, for fans who want to learn even more about Halo Infinite Multiplayer, check out the brand new deep dive video with the whole multiplayer team over on HaloWaypoint.com. And allow me to give a big thanks to everyone who's joined us today. Whether you play your favorite games on Xbox, PC, or Game Pass, the next 12 months will be nothing short of spectacular. It has been my absolute honor to be your host and share this experience with you. But before I go, here's a gameplay deep dive from the team behind the highly anticipated Scarlet Nexus.
Okay, so was that disappointing? A little bit. My expectations going into that was pretty low anyway. Let's watch this real quick because I feel like everyone here needs a little bit of news here. Yeah, let's watch this. This is the new season 7 of MCC. We'll talk about this in a second.
Anvil Station, this is Union Wing 3 and 4. Our Banshees are clear of the bay and heading to Patrol Loop 3. Permission to proceed.
Anvil copies Union Wing. Permission granted. Target drones en route to your location in 5.
Copy. Moving to intercept. Wing 4, the lead is all yours. I'll follow.
Affirmative, Spark. Engage at Walker 9.
Targets down. 3 more. On you.
Engaging. Targets eliminated.
Nice shot. Think this type of thing will ever actually catch on?
The divisions among my people run deep. It is difficult to imagine them cooperating with humans when they can scarcely work with one another.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, humans have been perfecting the art of fighting against each other for, like, centuries.
It does not.
Still, I'll take an ally wherever I can find one.
Indeed.
Season 7, baby. I'm more excited for Infinite. We got brand new images of stuff. I probably should have showed this first, but this came out yesterday. But yeah, let's take a look at this because there are some brand new images here that we did get a glance at earlier, but yeah. So I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I've been watching the chat here, and I've just been kind of like absorbing what we just watched. That is not a fan trailer, actually. That is for season 7, so probably low budget kind of stuff. But it is all free anyway. But yeah, let's take a look closer at this because. So what we just watched was the extended Xbox Game Showcase. And we got a few brief moments with 343 talking about what is coming next. And we really didn't learn anything new, and I was hoping that we got a little bit of new gameplay, but we didn't really get anything new. Besides a few new things, well, I guess one new fact is that we're getting a few things coming like after launch, which is weapons, modes, and maps. So that's confirmed now that they're sharing those things with us now. But actually, we do have a super chat here that I missed a while back. I couldn't do it because it just started. Is it just me, or does the Spartan getting into the Banshee have a Gundam themed armor coating? I'm not actually quite sure. Gundam. If maybe he's talking about the Halo Reach DLC armor that never really made it into the game, but thank you for the super chat. Regardless, DP Chief, really do appreciate it. Yeah, so we do know armor coatings are just going to be one per Spartan. It's pretty relevant. We thought it wasn't going to be like that, but it is. Admiral Kevin, thank you so much for the whatever knock. I don't know what currency this is, but thank you. I appreciate that, and the sticker. Good job. If you feel like that was underwhelming, you're not alone, but I'm actually not that upset because, again, I try to make it clear to have low expectations. I swear I thought we were going to get something a little bit more than that, but this week has been nice, you know? It's kind of triggering because we've been dealing with this content drought for a long time. But, yeah. Anyway, I mean, at least we got this, you know? We got a big Vidoc. I really expected them to go as possible with everything. And, you know, they didn't have to drop this Vidoc. They really didn't. But this was the main extended look at Halo Infinite this E3. Now, June 24th is coming up pretty soon, actually. That is in 1 week. And that is the last Thursday of the month. And last Thursday means Inside Infinite. They're going to be breaking down stuff that's already been confirmed, which is something to look forward to. So, the Aviator helmet is tailored for use by cybernetically augmented aerospace pilots. Among its many special features is a high bandwidth machine interlink configured to operate seamlessly with the next gen neural interlaces. Maybe I should make a lore video about this, about all these new armors, but yeah. That's cool. Zvezda incorporates a programmable phased array of antenna grid through leveraging its full capacities has proven to be a challenge for software developers. I don't understand what's going on, but take a look at the difference in the metal, the reflection. There's a lot of science going on with the textures here. What are you expecting? What, for June 24th? I think they actually told us what we should expect. So, anyway. Soldier. The latest iteration of Soldier helmet features a new revision of materials groups. We keep hearing about material groups. Combat Catalyst firmware. The firmware synchronization features remain unfinished, but Dr. Halsey's interest may accelerate development. Pretty cool. Again, got the armored coating on him. Kind of sucks we can't change the colors anymore. Gonna have to fight with the armor coatings. What's on June 24th? You know, if you guys really want to know, I could look at that real quick. But they did confirm it. Yeah, okay. Next week, Thursday, June 24th, our monthly blog series returns with a closer look at the future of Halo Waypoint. Boring. And the work team is doing to extend your Halo Infinite experience. And we'll catch up with members of the live team and talk to player engagement and customization. That sounds to me that there is going to be kind of just talking about what is coming post-launch, because they talked about live team, engagement, and customization, probably about content coming into the game day one. They're probably going to be talking about the battle pass and more of the, not really gameplay, but kind of behind the menu kind of thing. Just talking about the menu and what's coming there. Any info on the beta or full game in multiplayer? So we know the game is probably releasing on November 15th, but I think I've heard some rumors about the release date being out, but I haven't seen anything solid yet. I don't even think they know when they're dropping this game yet, which is interesting. But, okay, yeah. All right, let's go back to this. New pictures. They stopped updating the MCC. Yeah, they might chill out on MCC once Infinite drops. But obviously MCC has been like a huge test for them to figure out what they're trying to do with Halo Infinite. So look at that robot arm. Pretty different look than the Halo Reach prosthetic arm. But we know we can have cyborg Spartans in this game, which I'm definitely going to do. I'm just going to have 2 robot arms and then 2 robot legs. And I'm going to be armless and legless, technically. Just going to have prosthetic everything, because that's badass. I can't wait to do it. Also, take note of the sniper. Kind of like a Halo 3 and Halo 4 design. Had a baby. Man, I am so congested. This sucks. It's kind of hard to talk, actually. Kind of painful, actually. A lot of things we can modify. I wonder if we'll be able to modify the robot arm beyond just adding it in. But we know, like, the one thing I can take away from today, so we don't all feel like it was a big waste of time, is there is content coming after the game. Weapons, probably vehicles, maps. They said maps and modes. So once this game releases, it's going to be getting a live treatment. So, think Apex Legends, think Fortnite, think any game that has continuous updates to it that will be adding to the content. That's kind of more than what MCC has got. I know they kind of did that with Halo 5, adding new weapons in, like the grenade launcher and, I don't know, the Halo 2 battle rifle, I think, and then the Halo 1 pistol, which are all pretty cool things to see in Halo 5. So they'll be doing that again, and since Slipspace Engine has been built for integration of new things, it's probably going to be really easy for them to do that too. Apparently it was difficult before. But, my thing is all over the place here. Okay, anyway. This post talked about how we can actually make our own Mark 7 armor. I don't know, I guess for events and cosplay armor and stuff. But they were teasing the M6D pistol or whatever. Basically the Halo 1 pistol, which was something relevant to think about. We also have brand new pictures of the skewer. And let's read this. It's, I don't know how to say this. The brute design originating from before their alliance with the Covenant, the skewer is an anti-tank spike cannon used by banished packs for anti-personnel task. Personnel. The massive sharpened projectile is devastating, more than a match for titanium alloy armor at range, but reloading is a difficult task. So it probably takes a while to reload. But, yeah. What about FNAF? Why am I seeing FNAF in the chat? Anyway. The VK-78 Commando, right? So we get a new picture of this. And, yeah, I mean, you guys know what this is. Not much to say about it, but I'm really excited for the skewer. It's basically a harpoon weapon. And vehicular vices. I really like actually this new Banshee design. Like some of the Banish designs, I like the Ghost. I really don't care for. I wish this was a darker tint of a red. But with that being said, I really like this design. I wonder if it's any more powerful than the other Banshees we've seen in the past. But I don't know I don't know what 343's obsession is with making faces on inanimate objects. But now this just looks like an eye right here. I can't help but feel like that's an eye. I don't know. What do y'all think? Yeah, you'll. So someone asked about the beta. You will be notified if you are accepted into the playing the beta. If you were wondering about that. So here's the chopper. All right. Okay, now that I'm looking at it, this is actually really cool. I don't like the color. Overall, I don't really like the design of it, but we know that customization is going to extend out to vehicle skins too. And one really cool thing, and I might even play the video before I end the stream, but this is really cool because when you blow up in the chopper, I guess at least in a clip in the gameplay that we saw in the overview, what happened was that the player blew up and rolled away and died, and this part fell off. But then this wheel was like a rogue wheel after like a car wreck or something. It was just like rolling up the hill from the momentum of the explosion. And I thought, how freaking funny is that going to be? That's something we didn't even see in Halo 3. Like, if they do this right, they actually improve upon the sandbox and add dynamic equipment and weapons with good gameplay overall. This might be better than Halo 3. For the first time, we might actually get a Halo game that can peak over Halo 3, not only in amount of people playing, but also just gameplay value and the fun factor, you know? Anyway, first thing I'm going to do is unlock a vehicle, a new chopper vehicle skin, and then I'm just going to change this one, to be honest. How do you like it? Can you just be happy that we're getting a new Halo game? No, I mean, I can't. I've been hurt. I can't just be happy we're getting a new Halo game. I don't want another Halo 5. I don't want another Halo 4. God damn it, I want something that feels like Halo, and this feels like Halo to me, you know? Does everything feel like Halo? No. And if I really had to push out a complaint, the Valhalla map does not... I hate this depressing light rays. Like, I don't know whose idea it is. Like, here, I'll show you all a screenshot as I begin to kick up this, my one complaint about the trailer. Is this damn map. Why does every 343 Industries Halo map have to have this gloomy, depressing, dark, fog, light ray vibe to it? Like, look, I hate constantly, like, comparing everything, but, like, to the older Halos, but, like, I should probably look up Halo 3. I mean, when you look at, why is it like, look at Halo maps. Like, these maps were so, like, cool. I guess the Academy doesn't look this way, like the other Halo map, but the other big team map that we saw. But if I really had to push out a complaint, I would say that I'm just really over this. I don't know really how to describe it, but we've seen it with like okay, let's look at this. Let's look at this Ragnarok from Halo 4, which was a remake of Valhalla. Like, why does every 343 map have to have this gloomy, depressing lighting vibe to it? Valhalla isn't as depressing as this map. I just hope we get some, like, big team maps that aren't inherently just a gloomy, sad, depressing, rainy vibe to it. I don't know. I like the sun a lot more. I guess. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Am I going crazy? That's just my one big complaint about everything we've seen. And I thought 343 would be over it because they're thinking about returning to Halo, but You know, and not all Halo maps have always been like very happy looking, obviously. But man, is it such a Halo? It's like, as much as this looks like Halo, the return of Halo, I can distinctly tell that 343 did it. And I just hope we get different times of day and different weather. You know, maybe this would look really cool snowy. Why does it always have to have this barren, overcast look to it? Time of day, please, time of day. I honestly prefer the... Yeah, I mean, some people probably like it, especially people maybe that live in Washington. Some people are used to it. I'm a sunlight boy though. I love the sunlight, so yeah. But at the very least, changing the time of day, I think like what we could do in Halo 5, right? Yeah, we can do that in Halo 5, right? So I would like to see that again. We still got new pictures I haven't shown yet. So this is the Wasp, obviously. Pretty much identical to what we saw in Halo 5. I guess it made the cut. I really hope we get some multi-person air vehicles, though. Like, I want to see the Falcon. I want to see new air vehicles that can help with objectives. Since big team battle is such a big thing, it might not actually be that unlikely we see some vehicles like the Falcon that at least operate like it, you know? I think the Falcon was a really fun vehicle. Overall, do you think Halo Infinite will feel like a PS4 title, or do you think God of War 2018? I don't know. I feel like, man, whoever's really taking over the campaign and the cutscenes, I mean, they're doing a fantastic job. I love it. I love what we saw this week. 1 second, guys. I have to keep blowing my nose. This sucks. Allergies just suck. Yeah, I really thought there was going to be like more... I don't know. They're working with us, though. You know, finally they kind of understand what Halo's about. They've started... I don't know really how to describe it, but they've started not worrying about their legacy so much. And I thought that was really a toxic thing to worry about. Like, when you're coming into... Like, that was like all they could talk about in Halo 4 and 5 was like their legacy. And I'm like, okay. I really do not give a flying fuck about what 343's legacy is. I care about a good Halo game coming out. Like, I don't care. And unfortunately, their legacy has been kind of tarnished a lot from... But now, I mean, this is a comeback, right? This is a hell of a comeback. Really cool. Really, really cool stuff. Could use more sunlight, but whatever. That's just me. That's personal preference. What I'm mainly worried about, and I love this too. It's not just gloomy, sad, depressed. I mean, this is like an entirely new environment, you know. And I'm so excited to see like civilian buildings and stuff again in multiplayer. You know, because in Halo 5, let's look at Halo 5's maps. Look at all of these maps. Metal facility, metal facility, metal facility. Not so much with it. These were actually my more liked maps, like Longbow. And then, like, when you look at Halo 3's maps, look, this is such a 343 design. Like, just a jungle gym of blocks in a really I don't know. It's just the freaking metal facility. That's why when I look at this map, I'm like, am I supposed to be impressed? Halo been shown yet? Yeah, so if you're just joining us, Halo has been shown. Mainly, you could probably just not even watch it and not learn anything new, because we didn't learn much new besides the fact that specifically weapons, modes, and maps will be coming after launch. So they're going to continue to update this game with new sandbox items, which I kind of like, because we're going to we're going to play with these new tools together. They're going to get real-time feedback instead of like right now where they're not getting any feedback besides focus groups and playtesters, which is very limiting. But when they start kicking out the beta in like, I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks, we might see a beta in 4 to 6 weeks, but I don't know, man. Like, let's see. It's June right now. This game's probably going to come in November. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. I mean, this is going to be a demo, right? I mean, how much can they actually show us with... how much can they actually change and develop and take in feedback on a game that has less than 5 months? I mean, I don't think there's anything critically wrong with the multiplayer from what I saw. This looks like fun. My only complaint, and I guess now we're talking about complaints, is that it might come off as feeling a little bit archaic. But that might just be because I haven't seen the full gameplay just like you guys. I don't know exactly how big these maps are. I don't know how many maps there's going to be at launch. You know, there's tons of unknowns, but my only real big complaints is that and by the way, maybe I should really take my complaint about it being too gloomy, is that this map is actually fully blue skies and clouds, which I love. I absolutely love this. Just trying to catch up on comments now. I'm just checking to see if anything's standing out. Yeah, I feel like we're going to get the original awe and amazement from the original trilogy. Lucky Larry. Yeah. But let's see if there's anything new. You know what? We're actually going to go to Twitter. Let's look up for Halo. Let's look at Halo Infinite news. Ooh! Wait, this is new. 4 minutes ago. Next week with the MCC arrival. Don't miss your chance to grab Halo Infinite inspired Mark 7 helmet for Halo 4. Very cool. So I guess when MCC Season 7 arrives, June 23rd, this armor is going to drop, which is funny because that's actually one day before the last Thursday, which y'all know. Y'all should know what that means, right? Which is Inside Infinite. Well, they're probably going to be talking about the Battle Pass mostly. Someone pointed this out. I actually did talk about this in my breakdown campaign yesterday, but he actually had the assault rifle in Discover Hope Part 1 back in 2019, but now he just started with a Magnum. What's Sean W. doing here? What's Sean doing? Spying on people in the library? What you doing? No, that's actually from the Vidoc, isn't it? Okay. I thought he just found someone playing. So, okay, that's cool. Here's tons of new 4K. That looks like Halo Infinite in the background of one of the, I guess, the overview. New multiplayer screenshots. I mean, we've all seen this stuff, but I mean, there's nothing like just looking at screenshots, still screenshots, and seeing all the little things going on. I sure hope 343 adds a lot more detail in the rocks here. You know, and I missed in Halo 3 when you could zoom in. Even now, you could zoom in with the sniper on rocks and stuff in Halo 3 in some places and still see tons and tons of detail. Can we have different color parts for each armor piece? Lucky Larry asked. No. You have one armor coating, that's it. Sorry. But that's how it is. I mean, that's pretty much confirmed in the overview and the other stuff. This is funny. Halo Infinite needs Battle Royale to be popular or it will fail. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Saying that like is kind of ignorant to say because Battle Royale has not always been a thing. It's obviously been a trend, but 343 needs to make trends. You know, not follow them. I think everyone here can agree on that. Jesus Christ. Oh, I think we have a new super chat. T8B 2001 says they talked about summer flights during E3 recap. They did, but there wasn't really anything new. They said that they're still planning on doing it, and obviously they better be hoping on doing it. The greatest So Joseph State in the campaign lead just said this. It's a poll. What is the best weapon in Halo? The neither. The neither. The neither. There's no wrong answer here, folks. So Joseph Staten loves the needler, it seems. There's a lot of stuff on Twitter I just have not been able to catch up on because some people are under the impression that I actually still have writers and other people helping me on the channel, but no. I've been solo for quite some time, so yeah, I gotta do all this myself. Look at the different, I don't know what you call that part of the hand, the top of the hand attachments. There's a lot here. And you know what? I didn't even notice this until this tweet. These gloves, they're gloves. Obviously, we know the gloves can be modified, but I mean, take note that the gloves actually look different. Not just the like the knuckle part, I guess, but actually the undersuit or tech suit, whatever you want to call it, is different here. Well, they just copied Dust 2 from CSGO. Yeah, I feel like it may have been an inspiration thing, at least on this map. But there's the grapple hook go. I mean, there's... Oh, man, dude. There's so much to look at. And look, this is what I was talking about. I'm going to be a robot Spartan, all right? Sorry. Not sorry. That's pretty cool. So someone actually recreated this clip or this screenshot, whatever, from the E3 reveal. This is pretty neat with a toy. So there is actually a new employee spotlight, and I don't know who this person is. I was looking at this yesterday. All right, he's a multiplayer designer on Halo Infinite, and there's really not much to say about this from what I read, but let's see. I work on many of the multiplayer features that aren't the obvious ones, like game modes, but instead fill out the rest of the experience in the game. This includes the match flow, medals, the death cam, and spectator experiences. There's going to be a death cam in Halo Infinite. I really would not be surprised, but that looks like it. You heard it here first, folks. Halo Infinite, it looks like it's going to have a death cam and spectator mode. I know Halo 5 had a spectator mode, but I don't think it had a death cam. And several new features like item spawners and personal AI. I'm just curious how weapons are going to spawn on the map that are indoors, because it seems like they're all coming from drop pods, like Halo 2 Delta style, but yeah. Anyways, there's probably some nuggets of information in here you could probably make a whole video about. Talking about the sandbox, all the animation work, and movement updates from the sandbox team has made the game feel very modern and smooth to play. And yeah, again, I've already read a lot of this. I did not see the spectator or death cam part, but there's not a whole lot here. Although Sean W. will probably find something. Probably find something there. But I don't know. I think that might be a wrap for today, because that was the Xbox Game Showcase Extended. It was pretty underwhelming. I like how they put 343 on the top, but they were actually pretty much second to last. And it was incredibly underwhelming. Whereas we got a full Battlefield breakdown with new gameplay, it looked like. With everything had new gameplay but Halo. But can we complain, because we've gotten a lot of gameplay this week, and there's just a lot to analyze. You know, I'm still finding out new things here, even live on stream. I'm learning about Halo apparently with you guys. So, yeah. But with that being said, I think I'm gonna play my breakdowns real quick. So, you know, if you want to know everything, really juicy. Well, not everything, because there's a lot. Too much to probably break down in one single video, but there's just some really cool stuff here. So yeah, I hope you guys stay tuned. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. The stream is not over, though. We are going to be doing pretty much just showcasing my videos I've uploaded this week. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you guys enjoyed so far. And, yeah, we'll get it started. Followers, today I got a rapid fire breakdown of Halo Infinite's multiplayer gameplay. These are tons of details that I noticed after looking at these trailers over maybe 100 times, so lots of small little things that you probably missed, as well as a Samurai Spartan. What the heck is going on here? This is amazing stuff. So guys, be sure to smash that like button blue and subscribe. Join me on the journey of following Halo Infinite. Alright, customizing our own Spartans is actually really in-depth this time around, more than we've really ever seen before. From being able to change our gloves, our armor coatings, our visors, helmets, shoulders, shins, thighs, and adding really anything, including prosthetic legs and arms. So you could be a cyborg Spartan if you want. We'll actually be able to modify our very own AI to be used in multiplayer, modifying their appearance, voice, and personality. Although details are sparse, it appears that they'll be giving us helpful, personalized tips during multiplayer gameplay. Now, the Repulsor is a part of a new equipment lineup coming. In fact, more equipment is going to be coming after launch, just a few months after. But one of the new ones is called the Repulsor, and this can actually be obtained by defeating other enemies that might drop it, or scavenge on the battlefield like classic Arena Halo. The Repulsor fires back incoming projectiles, but also you can use the Repulsor to rocket jump as seen here. Speaking of respawning weapons and vehicles though, they're done by orbital drop pods, at least in Big Team Battle 2.0, and also Pelicans bringing in fresh vehicles that all players on the battlefield will probably be alerted by, not just visually, but also through the commander. And there's also the drop wall, which looks significantly different than the one that we saw last year, but certainly this drop wall can be used offensively or defensively in new creative ways that expand Halo's gameplay. Now, we do know that the whole multiplayer is free to play, but there will be a battle pass with launch, and that does in fact cost money. The first season of DLC will be themed the Heroes of Reach, with a lot of Reach armor as we've seen before, but there will actually be special event armors, including the Yori armor set, including the Wakazashi, if I said that correctly, which is basically a short katana. Yes, the swords are coming back to Halo 3's customization. Perhaps we can expect a full-on katana, a full-length sword on the back like in Halo 3. All this unlockable content will be done through the base game, through the season pass, but when it gets more into the battle pass stuff, we're actually not quite sure, but we do know that some armor is exclusively unlockable through the game and cannot be purchased with real money. Likely inspired by the Hayabusa armor from Halo 3, this armor is being treated kind of like Recon and will probably be kind of difficult to unlock. A special vehicle was spotted during the multiplayer overview. Is this just the debris of a Wraith? Or is it a Marauder, a new vehicle as seen in Halo Wars 2? Or could it be a Prowler like from Halo 3 but Banished theme? What do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. You can actually grapple shot onto vehicles, which is named by the announcer Grapple Jack, including the returning Wasp, and as we learned earlier this year, you can grapple jack onto Banshees. The Skewer is a harpoon-like weapon, being pretty big for even Spartans. If you look closely enough, it is big, but it is like a physics gun of sorts, and will be able to top Warthogs or even one-shot Spartans. Hopefully, at some point, it will be able to harpoon Spartans into the walls. Bots are confirmed. Now, we don't quite know a whole lot about how this is going to work, or if they're going to work in custom Forge maps, but we do know that they will be available in custom games and multiplayer, whereas there is vacant real player spots, there will be bots. So every game will always have 24 players, just not all of them may be human. But you can actually customize bot difficulty in the Academy training mode, where you can customize bot difficulty, what they're holding, what they're using, and this could actually be a really great way to get some practice in. Bots, by the way, are confirmed to fill in empty fire teams, which we really know nothing about, but most likely is a squad system of 4 players per squad in Big Team Battle. Much like in Battlefield, you'll be able to spawn on your teammates if they're not near any enemies or action. On June 24th, the last Thursday of this month, we'll be getting another Inside Infinite update, which will be a big blog post as always, and will probably include some new screenshots and gameplay, and answer a lot of questions that we are basically been asked by 343 to ask them on Twitter about. So Halo Infinite will also support split screen on Xbox and PC, plus there will be cross-play and cross-progression at launch. So if your friends get an Xbox and you get on PC, you can play together. Flights are also confirmed once again, and basically has been hinted at coming in July, but we really don't know, but it looks like that is still on the roadmap, thank goodness. Jeff Steitzer, the original Halo multiplayer announcer, is returning. This Warthog here at this moment is actually driving without a back wheel. Also, vehicles will have a doomsday clock of sorts, where once the vehicle gets enough damage, it will catch on fire, and then a few seconds or moments later, it will explode. But once a vehicle is damaged in a specific way, like losing a back tire, the handling will change and adjust to that. So when you take fire in a vehicle, be prepared for the handling to change, and that could drastically influence the game in the end, couldn't it? The Razorback is the Warthog's cousin, but it looks much more beefier and maybe a little bit slower, as in the gameplay we see that it moves at varying speeds, although this may have just been a cinematic effect or just slowing down to see what is actually happening here. But we do know that the Razorback can carry weapons, objectives, so yes, you can put the flag into the back of the Warthog if you so choose, or you can ride with it in the passenger seat, or fusion coils. You can put fusion coils, if you're dumb enough, into the Razorback to be thrown at someone else later, if you really wanna. This Warthog will actually carry up to 4 players. That's 1/3 of the team, since this game is confirmed to have 24 players total. That makes 12 versus 12 games. In the multiplayer clips, no medals were shown, although this is probably because the game is still in development, and not so much that medals aren't returning, because we know they are. The Halo 1 flag icon is also returning to Infinite. If you thought this looked familiar, it's like a snake in a square, but really cool stuff to see this returning. Red versus blue colors are gone, and this is pretty big. It's to basically compensate for the armor coating so people can see their actual colors that they want to play as in multiplayer despite being on team games. So this is certainly very interesting. It will be an outline system that can be modified in the options in the menu, and probably mostly for visually impaired people that might not be able to see red and blue so well, so that will need to be adjusted, but it is a cool feature for the rest of us. So I believe if you want to play on the red team for your entire Halo Infinite career, you can do that. Everyone else is probably going to be seeing different colors, but we'll know who is the enemy and who is allies. It's a popular theory right now that this map is actually Valhalla 3.0 based on the old Valhalla, and that makes sense. It's the next iteration of the Blood Gulch family, most likely being a big team battle map, which we do know will be included in Halo Infinite, unlike in Halo 5, which had no big team battle maps. But this is basically compensating for 24 players, so of course it looks different. It's got some choke points between these two bases, probably down in the valleys and ravines, and has some new features and landing sites for the Pelicans, so something to look forward to there. Now, the hex walls that I've grabbed about so much actually look properly implemented into the environment. We can probably expect this in the campaign as well, but take note of the rocks and dirt overlay, helping the blend and transition in the environment look more natural. And I'm hoping we actually see some foliage and vines on these as well. You can grapple hook flying fusion coils that I believe in this shot at least was thrown by another player, because yeah, you can just walk up to fusion coils and throw them. So before, fusion coils were a strategic item on the map to be weighted, to be used on someone walking near a power weapon or around a big important corner. But in this case, they're actually kind of like weapons that are kind of dangerous to hold, because if someone shoots it before you throw it, you're the one that's going to blow up. So pretty interesting strategy. Really like the sandbox there. A new weapon was spotted right here by one of the viewers of my stream. This could be a shock rifle. I believe it's a UNSC weapon. Could also be a banished weapon. Kind of hard to tell with the shot. Sliding, clamber, and sprint are all confirmed inherent abilities, at least from what we saw in the gameplay. There might be a classic mode where no abilities will be in the game, but these are things that we have seen in Halo Infinite's multiplayer reveal. The sidekick has a new appearance change. I have no idea if this was because I yelled from the top of the world, please, please, please change it, but enough people apparently got through to 343 and they have changed it for good. Upon shooting another player, that part of their body glows with shield effects, which is great visual feedback. If you're shooting on the head or the arm or the leg, you will know that instantly as you are landing those shots. And although this is a subtle feature, it could be very helpful in the heat of the moment to know if your shots are really landing on the part that you want to shoot, which is probably going to be the head, right? Well, the chopper is also confirmed to be in the game. The chopper is a super beloved vehicle from Halo Reach, and I'm so glad to see it returning, and it's got some really cool new features. It looks like it also has the boost as we saw back in Halo 3. We also see that the rocket hog is in the game, not a big surprise there, but notice when the chopper blows up in this shot, the front part will barrel out like a rogue tire rolling down a hill, or in this case, up the hill. But it's a really cool thing that when the chopper blows up, that tire, or the front part, the wheel of the chopper will roll around, and that could actually splatter some people. It could cause some crazy shenanigans later. Grenades and flags are getting trails behind them if you haven't noticed, and why not? They're absolutely awesome to see. Assassination animations weren't seen in the gameplay at all, although I believe they're likely to return because essentially this game is free to play and they need a microtransaction every cosmetic thing possible. So I would expect them to be returning in this game. This new authentic looking Foreigner weapon, although some people believe it's a UNSC weapon, I think it looks more like a Foreigner weapon, especially with what it does, has two firing modes. One is a weaker horizontal spray, or you can charge it up, probably holding down the trigger button, for a focused attack that can bounce around walls and maybe actually has some kind of tracking technology to it. So kind of like the Needler can maybe track onto enemy players. But once they get hit with this charge up, they can actually digitalize and incinerate opponents. So this looks like it might be a Foreigner version of the railgun, perhaps, because it looks pretty powerful. So it's probably gonna be one of those power weapons you want to look for on the map. Snipers now reveal a glow, and they probably only do this when zoomed in. So this adds a whole new layer of strategy when you want to zoom in. And, you know, just like in real life, this does happen. It does give a glare off when you use a sniper scope sometimes. So yeah, this can give away your exact position and get you killed. So adds a whole new layer of strategy to using this weapon. On this segment here, it pretty much confirms that armor coatings will be limited as we feared, meaning that you can't get multiple armor coatings and use them for different parts of your Spartan. You're going to have to settle on just one skin for your Spartan. But as seen throughout the gameplay, you can actually see multiple Spartans wearing multiple armor coatings that do have different reflections, different textures to each one of them. So certainly this is something that will look really cool and is probably innovative, but I'm kind of bummed out that, yeah, this pretty much confirms that one armor coating per Spartan. Also, on the battle rifle, there is a difference between the crosshairs, and I really wouldn't be surprised at this point if crosshairs were something added to the customization of your Spartans, and perhaps being able to modify crosshairs for different weapons would be a pretty neat and harmless feature at the end of the day. So I would like to see more about that. That might be something we can expect in customization. Be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell if you haven't already to get notifications on all the latest Halo news and entertainment from here on Halo Follower. Guys, thanks so much for watching. This has been my big breakdown of the Halo Infinite E3 campaign and multiplayer reveals. So campaign is next, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully you learned something new. I'll catch you guys in the next one soon. Peace. Took the Halo community and millions of gamers by surprise this E3 by revealing a couple Halo Infinite campaign cutscenes stitched together that reveal quite a lot of information about the plot and story. Today, I'm going to break down who this AI is, a few theories that actually makes a lot of sense based on previous evidence that we've gotten throughout the years that have been leading to this kind of exposure to the story, and tons of juicy story details that you don't want to miss. Guys, before we jump into it, be sure to smash that like button blue and subscribe. Join me on the journey of following everything relating to Halo Infinite. So let's start with the juicy part of this reveal, which is the Discover Hope Part 2 segment. It's been almost 2 years since we've seen the first part of this, where the pilot was lost at space and eventually found Master Chief after, I think, about 4 to 6 months lost drifting in space after some big defeat the UNSC had versus the Banished. This first scene has likely changed quite a bit from what we saw back in 2019, now that Chief has a pistol, not an AR, although he eventually does grab one in these cuts where he's flying throughout space. I also noticed that Chief's AI chip port actually lights up when the pilot speaks to him over comms. I don't know if this might actually have some bigger meaning, but yeah, that's some cool little thing to notice. Eventually, Chief makes it to the nearby banished ship. However, there is kind of a tricky cut that did confuse me at first, but they're actually in a completely different part of the story and campaign between these two shots. And in fact, if you actually look in the background, there's a bunch of these floating kind of pillar object structures zipping around, and it's very obvious that they're inside Zeta Halo somewhere. Perhaps they're inside of one of those floating pillar structures that we've seen so much of and is even present on the cover art. If you're not completely caught up with Halo lore, you might be a little bit confused and not even know where to start guessing as to what is going on here. So let me help, and let's start from the beginning, okay? So even though others and I have theorized this for quite a while, I was still thrown off a little bit when I first saw this. We're going to call this AI the weapon, all right? There's been rumors for years about Chief having a new AI. There was a male AI or even copies of Cortana, but it looks like they are going with perhaps her younger sister, Calmia, which I will fully explain later, but listen to this cutscene as far back as Halo 4. It seems that 343 has had plans to do this all along, and Cortana even foreshadowed this eventual reality, right? And suspected that it would be another Cortana model, which I would say is most definitely the case here. This is another Cortana model, all right? But before I break that down, let's watch this scene together.
They'll pair you with another AI. Maybe even another Cortana model if Halsey lets them.
That's not going to happen.
It won't be me. You know that, right?
The missions change. They always do.
Are you sure?
Oof. Okay, so that didn't age well, but Cortana clearly states that Chief would be getting another Cortana model if Halsey lets them, and of course she did, right? Of course she created this AI, as that would make the most sense. Now, as to where she is, if she's even alive, if the Infinity did blow up, that's a whole other thing to think about. But in the Halo novel Shadows of Reach, if you don't know, Blue Team was inserted onto Reach well after the story of Halo 5 and successfully grabbed about 4 boxes, including a cryobin, one that might be containing a brain of Dr. Halsey. And why this is key is because what she did, how Cortana was created, was actually extremely illegal. In fact, it was so illegal that the UNSC Infinity wouldn't even tolerate with what she was doing and how she was doing it, which was basically duplicating herself, making clones of her brain. But why Blue Team was trying to gain access to these boxes, which may include a brain of Dr. Halsey, they encountered Cortana's younger sister, aka earlier prototype of Cortana, and her name was Calmia. You know, when I first read this book, I was super disappointed that there was nothing juicy in it because we don't know what's inside these boxes or cryobin. However, we do know about the interaction between Kelly and Calmia. And Calmia here is actually just a subroutine and she's dead. But it makes me think perhaps this was a foreshadowing to her being created by Dr. Halsey, recreated by Dr. Halsey, to be used to kill and delete Cortana. In fact, I believe this so much to the point that this Jen Taylor's performance here, playing as this new AI, the weapon I guess we'll call her, is actually a bit younger and sounds a little bit higher pitch, which makes, you know, kind of adds to the evidence that this is Cortana's younger sister.
You are not Dr. Halsey.
And you're not Calmia. You can't be.
I don't believe we've met before. What is your name?
We have met 7 years ago, right before Dr. Halsey issued your failsafe destruction code.
Cortana, Calmia, and any other prototypes were created on Castle Base deep underground on Reach a couple years before the fall of Reach and was essentially created by Dr. Halsey's brain in a complicated process I don't fully understand, but it was done very illegally. And of course Sony knew about it, but it's something that the Infinity, even on the run from Cortana, wouldn't tolerate. In fact, Halsey was convinced in the book that even Palmer would arrest her right on the spot if she knew what she sent Blue Team down there on Reach to grab. It's possible that this new Cortana was created in secret on the Infinity, or at the very least allowed to exist momentarily out of desperation of the Infinity and humanity to get everything back in order. and it was probably allowed reluctantly by Thomas Lasky, the captain of the Infinity, to be done. Now, this is all super important because it will come back to play into my theory soon. But from the scene here, it seems like her only purpose of existing is not to help Chief with missions or something like that, but it's just to help Chief delete Cortana. That's ultimately her goal is. And upon failure, she was supposed to basically self-delete, but that didn't happen. Why? This is obviously after the Battle of Zeta and after Master Chief was recovered by the pilot. Wherever they are on Zeta Halo, and this AI does an exposition drop, which I find fascinating for a few reasons, because we, the viewers, have no idea what's going on, but also Master Chief as well. Master Chief obviously has short-term amnesia, at least for the past 5 to 6 months. Maybe it happened right at the battle, maybe he doesn't remember stuff before getting on the ring. But he does seem to understand what the mission is, which is to basically destroy Cortana. But Chief does not remember the events that led up to him in space and eventually found by the pilot. This is the second character now that has looked at Chief confused about him not knowing what is going on.
Oh, easy there, big guy. You're not...
Status report.
Status report? What? There's something you need to see, Chief.
The rogue AI known as Cortana is gone. She's been deleted.
How? By you?
Of course not. Did you hit your head or something?
Chief doesn't know what's going on, at least to some extent. And we've learned last year that Chief will actually have to piece together what happened at the Zeta event and probably other relevant story pieces that will come together as the campaign progresses, and to find out exactly really what happened here. So I believe, based on this information, this is how the story will play out in a chronological order, although I doubt the story will tell itself this way. And also right here, as much as I love this shot, I think the addition of the UNSC being destroyed somewhere in here would be really cool in this shot. So the story, I believe, goes a bit like this. Master Chief and Blue Team are inserted onto Reach to go under Castle Base and grab a few secret boxes, get back to the Infinity. Now, this is pretty relevant because we do know that all of this does happen up to this point, but now I believe this is the part where Halsey has to tell the Infinity, has to tell Thomas Lasky what her true intentions are. And this is where the Infinity somehow finds out that Zeta Halo is a key place to go to. Right? I'm not quite sure how it gets there or how the UNSC finds out about this place, but we do know in Halo Wars 2 art that there is some big, massive war that takes place in Reach's system. And there is also a portal on Reach that leads directly to the Ark. Don't quite know exactly how this might tie in with everything, but if Master Chief as well as the Infinity go to Zeta Halo, with the purpose and intent and understanding that that is going to be a place where they can actually stop Cortana, then that is likely how I believe they all ended up there. But the beginning of Halo Infinite starts probably with Master Chief on Zeta Halo, undestroyed and safe, and eventually has some kind of confrontation with Cortana. And something goes horribly, horribly wrong. The Banished show up, the Infinity has to get involved, and eventually ends out in an all-out war. Something causes Zeta Halo to blow up slightly, something for the ring to shatter and cause massive damage throughout the systems. Now, this is where Master Chief ends up floating in space. Somehow, he ended up in space, whether he was trying to escape with Cortana, or he was somewhere on the ring when it exploded and just ended up surviving for about 5 or 6 months until he was found by a UNSC pilot that also found himself in a similar situation, just floating and drifting in space for several months until he found the Chief. And eventually the Chief kicks off the story in the first cutscene, as we saw back in 2019 and now in 2021. But at some point later in the story, Master Chief really is... every character sees him out of the loop. He doesn't remember what happened. He might not even remember specific mission details, like that he was purposed to go delete Cortana himself. This might be an emotional hurdle for him to get over, but obviously things did not go to plan. Upon failure of capturing Cortana, the weapon was supposed to delete herself. And even though Cortana, according to the weapon, was successfully deleted, that wasn't really her mission. Her mission was to simply contain and capture Cortana. But upon failure of not capturing and containing Cortana, the weapon was supposed to delete herself through a subroutine, but it didn't trigger, which we really don't know how that's possible. So two big facts here is that she's supposed to be deleted, this AI, and Cortana is supposed to be simply contained, but she's now deleted. Considering Cortana started this whole disaster and most smart AIs have gone rogue, turning against humanity, I imagine the Infinity made damn sure that this weapon wouldn't just join Cortana and make the war and problem much worse, considering that, Cortana started everything. So whatever stopped her deletion is out of the weapon's control, and is probably relating to Cortana, right? So what stopped her deletion? I believe, actually, that these two fused. In E3 2019's campaign cutscene reveal was actually hidden a UR code that people did not discover for quite a few, many weeks actually after this reveal, but the URL code led to an official Microsoft site of an audio file that might actually be a big part in explaining what is going on here. Take a listen.
This is part of me. I don't know why. I don't know how, but it is me.
So who is this AI and what the heck is going on? Well, here's my theory. I believe Cortana and the weapon have both fused to become one character, and no one knows it yet. But that theory does have some flaws and doesn't really make sense for Cortana's motivations as far as her big goal to bring peace to the galaxy. But what if it was done without her consent? And what if the mission was actually kind of successful? And what if her getting locked inside of the weapon's body is containment? And regarding practical application of bringing in brand new characters like this AI here, it's a bit odd for 343 to make her look extremely close to Cortana, and has already confused many new people interested in Halo Infinite, as well as some Halo fans. But you would think changing her AI color, her design, or voice would be enough instead of just a few facial features. And even having the same hair design makes me question if this was really a great idea from a storytelling perspective. If these characters are not eventually going to be the same one, then they have done a great job at confusing many people that can't tell the difference between Cortana and the weapon. So perhaps Cortana has, at some level, fused with the weapon and has been more or less arrested inside of her coding, if you will, which would explain why, at least according to the weapon, Cortana was deleted, but she herself was not. And perhaps this new AI will end up being the cure of Cortana's logic plague and rampancy issues that led to the events that, ended up in Halo 4 and Halo 5. So even though the weapon seems like a new character, she might just be a placeholder that will eventually dissolve into Cortana being cured. Cortana has already expressed that she is a jealous type, and seeing a new AI with Chief would likely infuriate her and confuse her, which, I don't know, maybe led to Zeta Halo blowing up a bit, and maybe the UNSC's defeat. And who knows what she might try to do to Chief, maybe out of anger or spite. Cortana's voice plays in Chief's head here actually in this spot. I need you to understand there's not much time. Much time for what? Does it relate to them fusing together? Does it relate to some bigger picture, some bigger plot thread that is going on in the universe? And perhaps this has something to do with the two fusing or defragmenting and Cortana's character arc reversal returning to the good side. Of course, I would still appreciate it if the story didn't take this theory or approach at all, and that I'm completely wrong here, because Cortana, confronted with a weaker but more wholesome, good version of herself, maybe a younger version of herself, could lead to some very dynamic, bizarre, and entertaining conflicts in the story. And honestly, I could not help but root for the weapon here, or whatever her name is, Calmia or some people are saying Fula, because that was actually teased a while back with some toys. And there's actually many names this character could have. Let me know your own theories, ideas, and opinions about what we've discussed here. There's certainly a lot going on here. Maybe I'm wrong about this completely, but that's just my best off the top of my head theory that I'm just sticking with right now because it just seems to make the most sense. If Cortana does have a redemption arc, it will likely come out as insincere and just bad because she's got blood on her hands. She's killed thousands of people in the awakenings of the Guardians. But not only that, but also that the EMPs, which killed countless people that like commercial space travel or airlines, as well as the people and rebels that she killed in cold blood, basically because they refused to bow to her. If Master Chief does save and protect and cure Cortana, it will slightly spoil his character because he would be protecting a murderer. Cortana has to face justice. I'm not just saying this, it is confirmed in the books that Cortana has killed countless innocent people. She is ruined, and there needs to be a new pivot. So, anyway, Cortana is soiled as a character in many, many ways, and there's no way of going back. And perhaps there's something about this new character, Calmia, or Weapon, or whatever you want to call her, that will do it in a creative and innovative way because the story so far looks incredibly solid, thought out, and smart, and done in a very genuine way. So I doubt she would. But let me know down in the comment section below, guys. Be sure to subscribe, join me on the journey of following Halo Infinite, and like this video up. I'll catch you guys in the next one soon. Peace. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the stream. I'm still here, just been monitoring the stream. Those are some recent videos I had. But just a big thanks to everyone that decided to stay tuned. If you want to replay the stream, it should be available immediately. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. I might be doing a stream this weekend or maybe definitely next week. June 24th is the special day for more news coming. Maybe June 23rd for MCC news, but anyways, peace.